Welcome to the field. I'm Chuck Cracy, and you're watching the first game of the 2024 season for your Leander Lions. We want to welcome Lion Nation. Joining me tonight on the broadcast is, of course, Frank Rodriguez. On production, we have Juan Alanis. And on camera, you won't see him here currently. It's Peter Casimir, and he'll have the main camera tonight. The Lions looking to continue the streak that they have against the Pflugerville Panthers. They've won 2 games in a row against Pflugerville. Of course, Pflugerville is going to want some revenge. And Frank, you've got some statistics about this rivalry that go back. This rivalry goes back before World War II. Talk about that a little bit.
This is the 22nd time that these teams have met as a season opener. Pflugerville leads the all-time matchup 35-30-2. And the last 4 years, Leander's 3-1.
And now let's welcome our Pflugerville Panthers.
Last 20 years, Leander's 12-8.
Go ahead, Frank. Yeah, keep going.
And there's been 67 meetings in the last 87 years.
Well, that's a lot of meetings. So you said 67 in the last 87 years.
Yes, sir.
So I think maybe we had the wrong mic on. Try it again, Frank. I'm sorry.
No, you're all right.
We're still working this out.
So this rivalry began in 1937.
You go ahead.
Pflugerville leads the all-time matchup 35-30-2. The last 4 years, Leander has got them 3-1. And the last 20 years, Leander's 12-8 in last matchups. And this is the 22nd time that these teams have met as a season opener.
You know, I want to apologize to you, Frank. I know this is your first game broadcast, and I had Juan thinking that you were on the second microphone and you were on the third microphone.
We'll get it right.
So Juan was on. So I was actually picking it up. I could see it on the stream, but it was coming through my microphone. So, you know, I wanted to make sure everybody heard those stats because it's a big rivalry. This is one of the oldest in the area. In fact, I don't know of any besides maybe internal Austin schools that may be older. I mean, we're talking about before Nazism was defeated. So that is a long time ago. And of course, this is a new stadium here in Pflugerville. We're about 3 minutes away from the kickoff. It's new, relatively new. We've been coming to games here for about 4 or 5 years now. We every year, for whatever reason, have trouble with the crowd mic in this stadium, and it's kind of ominous for me because we've had some crowd mic troubles with this equipment for the last couple of football, baseball, and basketball seasons, and sometimes it works and other times it doesn't. Audio is finicky. Whenever the Booster Club provides equipment, you're happy with that equipment because otherwise we don't get to bring you the broadcast. And ultimately, we know you want to see the game. If you can't be here, you want to have that opportunity to come back and watch the game. If there's a big play that you know your child or your grandchild or a cousin, you know your buddy, that they had in that game, you want to be able to go back and look at it. And so we do it because it's fun, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's a way of life to be a Leander Lion fan. And I always say that no matter who it is, and you're in this category, and I can't be in this category, I can be honorarily in this category. But if you played for Leander, you're a lifetime Lion.
Hey, once a Lion, always a Lion. That's the way it goes.
And, you know, I can, you know, kind of work my way in an honorary thing. But I went to Midway. We were an opponent of Leander. I've told this story numerous times. I was not a fan of the Lions until my kids started attending. And then I was like, hey, I see the culture here, not just in the school, not just in the community, but in the football team and beyond. The people who go to Leander, you know, I have them. Just to get on a side note, talking about we're only about 80 seconds away from where we got to go down to the field, but I was doing an internal audit, and the guy was in Kansas City, and I was wearing my Leander Lions hat, not this one, but a different one. And it had the lion head on it. And the first thing he asked me, he said, "Is that a Leander Lions hat?" And it's because he went to this school and then went to college somewhere and became an internal auditor and was harassing me about our activities in my day job. But anyway, we're going to switch down to the field on Peter's camera, and we'll come back at halftime and we'll give you some updates. But stay with us here on SHN Sports, your home for Lion football. We'll be right back.
Go Lions.
And of course, we just run down to the field. We didn't really leave like I introduced it to sound like, but what we're going to deal with now is the coin toss. And it looks like they've already made the toss. Let's see if we get a signal here on who's going to kick and receive. And I guess we missed it. So we'll see if we can pick up the national anthem. We'll hopefully we'll see what's up. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So it doesn't sound like we're getting the signal. Let's see if it comes through my mic here. Yeah, it looks like it could be an issue for us on the crowd mic. So we're gonna deal with it. Sounds like they're having a little bit of feedback on their microphone on the field. Apologize for not being able to bring you the anthem. We like to do that to honor the country, and that is the Pflugerville Choir currently singing the national anthem. And we will be kicking off momentarily. Again, we didn't see who actually won the toss, but we will see here in a minute. You know, we couldn't even the stadium speaker in this room wasn't picking up that. So they also are having some microphone problems here at the field. And the key obviously is to bring you the game, and that's what we're here for. And it looks like the Lions are gathering on the sideline here. One of the special teams unit, the Lions wearing blue uniforms that are trimmed in white and red. Oh no, check that. That's Pflugerville blue, and that's yellow, gold and yellow trimmed on the shoulders. The Lions wearing white jerseys with blue pants. They have their white helmets with the flying lion logo. And it looks like this may be the return team for Leander. And it does look like, based on Pflugerville coming out with a T, and kicking off for Pflugerville is going to be number 81, Xavier Barrientos. And so the Lions will have the football as we open tonight's ball game. Back deep to receive for Leander is going to be number 1, Zane Wooldridge, as well as number 0, EJ Hargrave. Both had pretty good years last season. A couple of the faster Lion skilled players. So Barrientos
1, Woolridge, and 0, EJ Hargrave.
puts his foot into it. It's going to be short. It's going to be fielded by number 84 for Leander. That's Aiden Stericker. He runs it straight up the seam on that hash on the Leander side, up over the 35 to about the 37-yard line, where the Lions will have 1st and 10 to open the 2024 football season. Did you get a number on that tackle, Frank? That was a big pile of guys, so it's going to be difficult sometimes when they're in a big group like that. You know, it was they know about Zane Wooldridge. They know about
That's why they didn't kick to him.
EJ Hargrave. That's why they kicked it short. And that was a decent return by Stericker, though. So, pick your poison there, because Stericker, he was able to pick up about 15 yards on that return. In at quarterback for the Lions is going to be number 3, Logan Mitchell. They've got a reverse coming to Wooldridge, and he's going to get dragged down in the backfield for a loss, and that's not the kind of play you want to open up
They
with.
sniffed that one out.
And that's the linebacker for the Panthers, Brandon Bradshaw, number 9. And so you know, one of the things we talked about with Coach Price at the Lion Nation podcast earlier in the week was to try to stay ahead of the change. You don't want to get behind the chains. It wasn't a mistake necessarily, just a good play by Bradshaw, but the Lions behind the chains now, and they'll hand off to number 0, E.J. Hargrave, and he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, plus a couple more close to a first down. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So it's a 3rd and reasonable here for the Lions, about 5 yards, 4.5, 5 yards to get the first. Good read there by Logan Mitchell to get the ball to Hargrave on that zone read action. And the Lions will come out in that pistol formation. The running back to the right side of Logan Mitchell. They'll fake to Hargrave, and Mitchell will roll to the right, and he'll flip it to the receiver there in the flat. It's complete, but the defender's able to stop him from gaining much yards after the catch, and that's Garrett Pites on the reception. He was one of the guests on the podcast earlier this week on Tuesday. So it is 4th down. Looks like the Lions are not going to risk it here in the midfield area. They're going to bring out the punting unit. Back to kick for Leander, the sophomore, Rene Rodriguez.
Number 32, Rene Rodriguez.
Back deep to receive for the Panthers is going to be number 3, Jalen Thompson, the defensive back. It was kind of an awkward punt off of his foot, and it's not a deep punt, but it does get into Pflugerville territory, and so the Panthers will have the ball about the same place the Lions started, the 38 this time for Pflugerville, so about a yard off. So, you know, you got to get those butterflies out, Frank. You play a little ball, you know.
You got to shake it loose. And
it's usually that
short-term memory. Yeah.
It's usually that first hit that'll knock them loose, but sometimes that's frustrating if you're not on the field, and the defenders waiting during that drive now get their opportunity here with Pflugerville on offense. Coach's son, the quarterback for Pflugerville, Cole Taylor, the junior, in a shotgun. He's going to take the snap. It was high. He was able to get it to the running back, but Lions able to get a loss on the first play, and a similar play. That's number 24, Ryder Miller, on the carry.
That was a good job by Williams by keeping that outside containment. Made him push it back inside right there.
3 yards.
That defensive line is vitally important. The Lions, looks like their nose tackle's wearing 23. They got a fast guy up there on the.
Oh man, you got to hold your water on that one.
Yeah, the Lions getting a little bit ahead of the count there. Yeah, they weren't pulled off, but they did make a contact. You know, as the NFL calls it, encroachment. But that'll move the ball back to the 40, which will bring up 2nd and 8 instead of 2nd and 13. But we'll see what the defense can do. See if they can get off the field quickly. One of the things that have plagued the Lions over the last few years is the defense being on the field too often. So, you know, we'll see if they can get off of the field and get the ball back in the offense's hands. Taylor at quarterback takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw up the middle. Has a receiver open. That was number 1, Kyrene McFrazier. He was guarded by the Lions' number 1, check that, number 2, Malachi Filan. Filan wearing the green shoes. I should be able to see him.
Stick out like a sore thumb.
It looks like somebody took a highlighter to him. It's 3rd down and 8 now for the Panthers. Taylor in the shotgun, trying to draw the Lions offside. They kind of, the second level guys kind of creeped forward, but they didn't go off sides. In the backfield is Miller, and they're going to send him out into the flat. He's covered. Got to pass down the middle, and the pass was there. Decent coverage. That was intended for Quentin James, but Tyler Mormon, the defensive back, the junior, able to stay with him step for step, and that was just a really tough throw to try to fit the football in there, especially with the defensive back covering him like that. And then back deep to receive the punt for Leander. It looks like it's going to be Zane Wooldridge. And the punter for Pflugerville, I can't quite see his number at the moment. It's probably Barrientos. Xavier Barrientos. We'll go with that until we figure out otherwise. Wooldridge up to the 30s in open field, 40,
Go. Hit it.
midfield.
Hit it.
He's got one defender, and he's able to force him out of bounds. That defender, number 9, Brandon Bradshaw. But the Lions will have their second possession somewhat deep into Pflugerville territory, right around the 32-yard line.
It looks like that kicker was actually a linebacker, Keyshawn Ware, number 11.
That could very well be, because it doesn't say kicker slash P, K/P by the kicker's name. Sometimes it's the same guy, and sometimes it's different players. You know, being an old Cowboy fan from way back in the day, Danny White used to do both of those things, quarterback and punt. And it's kind of a more common in high schools for that to occur. So looks like Mitchell's in at quarterback. Just to his right is going to be Zane Wooldridge in the running back position. No, I checked that. That's number 4, Parsons. And he'll carry it straight ahead, and Pflugerville able to plug that hole and prevent any gain and kind of force a loss on the play of about a yard. And that was Nick Parsons, a senior. The Lions huddling up. Mitchell walks to the sideline to get some instruction from the offensive coaching staff. He's back in. Play clock at about 13. There's 8:25 remaining here in the first quarter. We're still scoreless. The second possession for Leander. They'll hand off straight ahead. He tries to slip through, and he'll be able to get a little bit of yardage as Nick Parsons, but he gets back past the original line of scrimmage and gains a yard beyond that for making it a 3rd and 9 situation here for the Lion offense. And you know, the kicker for Leander is a sophomore, Rene Rodriguez. His brother last year was an all-district kicker and had quite the leg, and they're both recruited off of the Lions playoff soccer team. So, you know, if you don't want to give up the opportunity even for a long field goal, but you want to get a first here, 3rd and long. Parsons, the running back. They're going to hand to him straight ahead.
Fumble.
And the ball's on the ground, and the Lions able to recover it. Who was that?
27.
That is a very alert play by Liam Gaither, and that'll set the Lions up for a decision here. 4th down and about 5, a little bit more. Will they go for it? Looks like they're sending in a play, so they may be going for it here. There's about 20 seconds remaining here on the play clock, 7:11 and counting on the game clock. Kind of a wider set for the running back, and Mitchell throws to Wooldridge, and he's upended by a defender there at the line. That was number 3, Jalen Thompson, and the ball will go over on downs after the second possession for Leander, as they were able to get a little bit of progress, but they still have yet to get a first down here early.
He sniffed that one out.
You got to shake those butterflies. You know, the early part of the season, and I always say this: the offense is always a little bit further behind than the defense, because while there's a lot more nuance to defense these days, it's still about getting out there and making tackles. So,
I've got to tell you, football is always better on a full stomach.
So Cole Taylor, number 7, the quarterback, he'll be bracketed by his or have on his side the running back, number 24. That's Miller. High snap, they'll hand to Miller. He gets through the first level and is able to scoot his way forward for a gain of about 9, maybe 10. Looks like they're going to give him a first. Up to the line, 36-yard line. Didn't see who made that tackle. Perhaps it was, yeah, he'll make more. We'll get his name next time. So shotgun formation, Miller just to the side of Taylor. You got the defensive line a little jumpy with his snap count. Look for that to be something the line should watch out in short yardage situations. Taylor forced a roll to his left. He's able to pick up a first down with a gain of 10 as he steps out of bounds, chased out of bounds there by number 5, Calvin Kessler, also one of our interviews from this week. And
That
there
was some
is
great pressure. We just need to have some containment on the outside over there.
well, there's a flag on the ground about that area, which would indicate potential hold, which pretty much negates contain.
There you go.
That's against number 77, Javier Gonzalez. And what would have been a first down is now going to be a first and probably 20, depending on where the foul occurred. They're going to move the ball back to the 25-yard line. Pflugerville has to get out to the 46, so they're first in, or it was second down, right? Second and 21. It might have been first down. It might be first and 21 because they did get a first down on that other set of downs. So Miller to the left. Taylor drops back, looks, throws it in the dirt as the Lions have every receiver covered. And I say dirt, but it's really turf. But you get it. He had nowhere to go, and he had nowhere to run. So, he decides to live to play another down and just throws it in the dirt or tire remnants or whatever's on that field,
That
little
was
pieces
Kessler
of
back
rubber.
there again, getting some pressure.
Kessler.
Yes, sir.
So you got a 2nd and 21 here for Pflugerville. Miller still the running back to the right of Taylor. 2 receivers. No, but check that. We're going to have another flag. Looks like there's motion penalty against the Panthers as they can't seem to get out of their own way on offense. And again, that just goes to what I was saying early in the season. Sometimes offense is a lot harder to be in sync than it is defensively. You can get out there and be pretty good defensively with just some athletes. And so that's going to push the line of scrimmage back to the 20. It'll be 2nd and 26. 3 receivers here on the near side. Taylor looking that way, goes down the seam. He's got a receiver and it's caught, and he breaks that tackle. He's going to take it to the house. 20-10, touchdown number 2, Jason Evans. And the Panthers grab an early lead here with about 6 minutes remaining in the first period. Is now Pflugerville 6, Leander nothing, and the Lions will look to dig themselves out of this deficit. Not a huge one here. The Panthers looking to add the extra point. Looks like they brought out the kicking unit, and we'll be going for the single with the kicker, Javier Barrientos. The holder looks like it's going to be Donnie Wright. Nope, he's over on the end. The holder's going to be number 2, Jason Evans.
For 81, Xavier Barrientos.
About 20 seconds on the play clock. There's the snap hold. It's kind of fumbled, but they were able to get it down, and it was a good kick as he was able to get it up over that crossbar. And with 6 minutes and 6 seconds remaining here in the first period, the Lions trail 7-0. We'll be right back on SHN Sports. Stay with us. Welcome back. Pflugerville to kick off. Javier Barrientos to kick for the Lions, back deep to receive. A little less deep this time is going to be Zane Wooldridge. And let's see, that's also going to be number 0, EJ Hargrave, or is that a different number? Oh, it is a different, it's Hargrave. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. That's one of the problems with getting old. It does not.
Let's see what the Lions can get going. Let's go, baby.
So Barrientos with a short kick, and it's going to be fielded again there by number 84 for Leander, and that is Steriker once again. He didn't have much room, but you'll take a short kick like that. That's a good field position play for Leander. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the 36. Now, they haven't shown the ability to move the ball right now, so they need to find that groove, and we'll see what they have for the Pflugerville defense here in their 3rd possession of the game with 6 minutes remaining in the first.
Looks like we have Montgomery out there now.
It looks like at quarterback we've got Mason Montgomery, the junior.
Mason Montgomery.
Good catch there. And that's a handoff to the running back straight ahead, and Pflugerville able to get penetration and not much movement as Kamarian Gordon, the running back, didn't have much of a hole there, and a loss of 1 on the play is going to bring up 2nd and 11. You hope to get a little bit better of push off of your offensive line. The Lions do have some youngsters filling in on that offensive line this season, so this is valuable experience. They need to get it in now so that they're prepared for what is a pretty tough district slate down the road, and we'll bring you that schedule here sometime in the second half so you can get an idea of when the broadcasts will be and whether or not you want to make a trip to watch if you're out of state or out of town somewhere. So Montgomery with number 21 to his side, Gordon, and they're going to call a timeout. And I didn't see who called it. Let's see if they take it off. They took it off the scoreboard for Leander, so it looks like it is a Leander timeout. So 2nd and 11. The Lions are just having difficulty moving that ball forward here so far tonight.
They got some big boys out there up front for Pflugerville.
Yeah, they need to get some movement off the offensive line and create some seams. You know, we've seen some tiny holes, but they're not big enough at this point. Let me shout out our sponsors for the Booster Club. They are Quality Moving and Storage, digdwell.com, Thrifty Goat Graphics, Learn Lee 123, Cedar Park Law, Wyndham Roofing, Pigpen Cycles, Baldy's Jeep Shop, Walks It To You, Brooklyn Heights, Guaco Taco, Lucky Rabbit, and Community Blessing Outreach. Back to the game. Montgomery with Gordon to the side, and we're going to have a pre-snap penalty as the whistle's blown. The remaining sponsors include Oak Haven Massage, Bear Electric, Mercy Veterinary Hospital, Bill Miller's Barbecue, RDZ Roofing. You know about those guys, Mr. Rodriguez. Yeah. They are.
You got you covered, though. I heard that.
Yeah, right there you go. Raising Cane's is on the list. Golden Chick, Toyota of Cedar Park, TSO Cedar Park, Whitestone Fine Jewelry, Sisk Rob Incorporated, JT Reisdorf at State Farm, A Plus Septic Cleaning and Repairs, Grissom Insurance Group, BlackRock Coffee, Modern Shade, Milo Aquatics, and MLD Services. There's a pass from Montgomery, and it's high. Wooldridge kind of went up for it, but it got over his head and fell incomplete. There was a Pflugerville defender there who felt like he had an opportunity, but it even looked uncatchable for him. It's going to bring up 3rd and very long. The Lions looking at 17 yards. They need to get to the 46-yard line for a first down. You know, there's not many 17-yard plays that you pull out. Now, that doesn't mean you can't convert, you know, because obviously you can score from anywhere on the field with the right circumstances, but we'll see what the Lions pull out here, see if they just try to get some yards and set themselves up for a decent punt.
Pflugerville with a 3-man front.
Gordon, the running back. Montgomery's pass is intercepted, and that's going to go to the house as he's set on that route. That was number 9, Brandon Bradshaw. And the Lions dig themselves a little bit deeper of a hole here, down now 13-0 with a point after attempt coming up. And that was a little bit telegraphed.
Yeah,
from your experience, when you play defense, you look for those kind of passes, right?
Expecting it. Jumped the gun and 88 out the gate. And he was gone.
And that's one you learn from in film study, right? Tomorrow when the Lions are in film study, Mason Montgomery's going to have to watch that play probably 15, 18 times, and he'll probably get yelled at least 3/4, if not all of those times about, you know, make this read and, you know, you had an opportunity to tuck it here. The point after attempt is up, and it is good as well. And the Panthers are going to be ahead of the Lions here with still about 5 minutes left in the first. The score 14-0. We'll stay here with the game here. We're about usually they take about a minute between the kicks, so we'll be back to action. And the Lions are currently looking to see what they can do, and they really need to answer here. Obviously, there's a lot of football to be played. It's not like Pflugerville's dominated or anything. There's just broken plays by the Lions have resulted in 2 Pflugerville touchdowns, and so they'll have to not only work on getting better at what Leander does, but they'll also have to make up for those 2 touchdowns in the interim. Certainly within reach with plenty of time left. I mean, if you're looking at clock time, we've got 41 minutes of game time still left to play almost. So looks like back deep it's going to be Wooldridge, and they're going to flip the returners and see if they can fool the kicker, Xavier Barrientos, but he'll probably kick deep now if he notices that Wooldridge and E.J. Hargrave or check that, it's going to be filing there near the 25. So what they did is they put Hargrave on the back row and flipped Wooldridge with Steriker. There's the kick, and it's going to go to Wooldridge, and he'll field it at the 20. Watch out. He's dangerous in open space at the 35-40, and he's going to drag it up to about the 44-yard line where he stopped there, and the Lions have their best field position of the night.
Hey, that was a good run right there.
Yeah.
22, one Grant with the tackle.
You give Wooldridge too much space, and he'll take it to the house. We've seen it happen over the last couple of years several times, and Pflugerville well aware. They've seen plenty of film on Leander. Coach Taylor familiar with Coach Price and vice versa. So right now, Coach Taylor getting the best of Coach Price at the moment.
Back at it with Logan Mitchell at quarterback.
Mitchell in. The running back, Camarion Gordon, to the left of Mitchell. We've got a receiver on either side of the formation, a couple of tight ends, and there's a pre-snap whistle. Did they not set the play clock? What's going on? There was a Pflugerville coach out on the field. Is it a penalty? I don't see a flag. Even the referees are trying to get, the cobwebs out as we get this first game underway. So we'll just say, hey, let's try that again. Panthers always have a good front, and you can see there, especially on that would be the Lions' right side of their offensive line. A couple of big boys there on that defensive line. There's a snap, and they'll hand it straight ahead to Gordon. He's able to lunge forward over his guard to about the 47.
That's some pretty good movement on the front line right there. Got the big boys on their heels.
They're going to give him 3 yards and make it 2nd and 7. Let's see if the Lions can get across midfield here. They were in their second possession were in Pflugerville territory, but they couldn't get a first down. So Gordon, again, the running back next to Mitchell, the quarterback. We have a receiver on either side of the formation, a couple of tight ends. There's a snap fake to Gordon. Mitchell with pressure, and he's going to be sacked. That's number 90, Ito. His name's so nice they used it twice. There is a penalty flag down, and it's near the line of scrimmage, so it could be an offsides, as that's the side that Ito came from. And that would be quite beneficial for the Lions if he got a little bit of a head start here. Let's see what the call is. And it is offsides, but it wasn't Ito. It was his teammate, Elijah Tyson. The defensive back must have lined up offsides, trying to get a little face-to-face with the line wide receivers. And you get too close to Zane Wooldridge, then he's going to run by you. But that sets up the Lions for 2nd and short, and they have an opportunity to get their first down of the evening here in the first quarter. There's still about 4 minutes left. They're going to bring triplets over here to the left side of the formation, a couple of receivers on top of the formation. They'll bring one in motion. They'll hand to that running back, to E.J. Hargrave on the jet sweep, and he's bobbing and weaving his way down deep into Pflugerville territory around the 37.
That's what we needed right there. Some chain movement right there.
That's pretty good play design too. If you think about it, they send 3 receivers out there and then you run that same direction. You got all of those defensive backs and linebackers worrying about receivers on a 2nd and short. You expect an offense to run the ball, and the Lions give them a look of a pass, but then run it and catches them off guard.
How to get away from them pit bulls down the front.
Empty set for Mitchell, and they'll bring Hargrave in motion. He'll fake it and keep it. And Ito was right there to meet him and drop him for a loss of 2. And, I just think that was a bad read there by Logan Mitchell. He should have probably fed that ball to E.J. Hargrave. Mitchell's pretty athletic, but in that middle there, his size doesn't really give him much of an advantage when you're running up against a guy like Ito or Sonny Davis there on the defensive line for the Pflugerville Panthers. It's hard enough for the line big boys to move, especially number 5, Sonny Davis, the nose out of there. So it's a 2nd and 13 for the Lions. They'll hand to Hargrave on the jet sweep. He cuts it outside and gets close to the original line of scrimmage, kind of fell down awkwardly as he was tackled, but he pops back up. So they'll just make it 3rd and about 10 and a couple of inches there. Make it 3rd and 11 for the Lions here, as they need another big play. Mitchell remains the quarterback. Coming into the game for Leander was number 16, Dominic Jaramillo, the junior wide receiver, getting an opportunity. See if he can make a play. We'll see where he lines up. See if the Lions will come with trips. It looks like they're going to bring twins here on the the wide side of the field. A single receiver at the top of the formation.
Hargrave in the backfield.
And there's a timeout for the Lions as the play clock was running down too quickly. So to avoid the timeout here and making the job a little bit more difficult on that first down, they'll call timeout. And I'll read through the sponsors again. There are a lot more than I expected. MLD Services Incorporated, Milo Aquatics Incorporated, Martin Shade, BlackRock Coffee, Grissom Insurance Group, A Plus Septic Cleaning and Repairs, JT Reisdorf at State Farm, Sisk Rob Incorporated, Whitestone Fine Jewelry, TSO Cedar Park. That's Texas State Optical for those that are wondering. Toyota of Cedar Park, Golden Chick, Raising Canes, RDZ Roofing, Bill Miller, Mercy Veterinary Hospital, Bear Electric, Oak Haven Massage, digdwell.com, LHS, Community Blessing Outreach at LHS. And the Lions are back on the field. We'll get those other sponsors here in a minute. Mitchell remains the quarterback. Hargrave the running back. You got 2 receivers here on the wide side of the formation. Mitchell rolls to the short side, flips it in the flat, intended for number 7. It looked like it should have been caught. That was River Hom. It was a little bit low. He had to go down to get it, and he might not have had the first down regardless. There is a penalty flag down here on the near side at the 44-yard line. We'll see what the call is. Haven't seen a signal yet. Looks like it was against Leander and declined by the Pflugerville Panthers, which is the obvious choice there to force the Lions into a 4th down and about 11. Looks like the Lions are going to leave their offense out on the field here, at least for a few minutes. And maybe they'll pooch kick with Logan Mitchell. He's able to do that. Running back is Hargrave. 3 receivers here on the wide side of the formation. Mitchell dropping straight back, flips it in the flat, and that's going to be complete to number 6, Mason Montgomery. Or maybe Mormon. He got close to a first down.
Right there.
It was number 7 on that was River Hom, I guess. Or he may be injured. So they're saying it was to Hargrave, and it does look like Hom is that's another thing about early games. There's a lot of cramping that goes on early, and no matter how much conditioning you do, if you don't drink enough water And with the temperatures that have been in Central Texas over the last 2 weeks, it's next to impossible to play a football game on a Friday night for 3.5 hours and not cramp up.
Yeah, you gotta stay away from them Dr. Peppers during lunch.
Yeah, well, they taste so good though. So the remaining sponsors here as we sit through this injury timeout: Lucky Rabbit, Guaco Taco, Brooklyn Heights Pizzeria. They just hosted our Lion Nation podcast on Tuesday. Walks It To You, Baldy's Jeep Shop, Pigpen Cycles, Wyndham Roofing, Cedar Park Law, Learnly 123, Thrifty Goat Graphics, digdwell.com. They get two names. She listed them twice. Quality Moving and Storage, and those are your sponsors, and quite a list of sponsors there. As Leander continues to grow the football program, you know they suffered numbers wise in the program as a result of all of the new schools being built in Leander ISD, and they're just now starting to get back close to where they want to be. Here's a snap, and they're going to hand off to Miller straight ahead. He'll pick up about 3 yards to the 33-yard line.
That's Kessler with the tackle right there.
Kessler racking them up already. So about a minute and 10, about minute 15 seconds here in the quarter. Taylor. And that was a little weird because the defender jumped across, but the offensive lineman tapped his head with his hand. I don't know what the call is. They're going to call it against Leander. I'd never really seen the guy reach out like that and touch the defender. I mean, that does make it contact, but is that legal? I don't know. They're going to make it a 5-yard penalty against the Lions. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Panthers. Miller, the running back, they fake to him. Taylor looking down the left sideline. He's got a receiver wide open. Hits him in stride, and he's going to be tackled
right
just before he would have scored, and that's Kyron McFrazier. Was that 6?
No, I think that was 12. Tyree Smith with the tackle, with a shoelace tackle.
Smith with a great tackle to save a touchdown here, and the Lions, their backs against the goal line now. 1st and goal for the Pflugerville Panthers. The ball on the 6-yard line. Panthers have 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Pretty standard spread look. There's the snap. They're going to hand to Miller straight ahead. He gets up close to the 5, but not much there. Is number 5, Calvin Kessler, leading the charge for the Lions.
Big Javier right there.
Yeah, giving one to Javier Gonzalez as well. A little assist there. You know, they don't ever give the D lineman credit because if you think about it, they got to go through an offensive lineman first usually to get to the play. So it looks like they're going to stay in a well, they got 3 receivers here on the wide side of the formation now for Taylor. He takes the snap and runs to the left, looking for a crease. He's able to get up to the 1-yard line.
Well, Parsons with the tackle right there. That's
the 1-yard line.
That kept him from getting into the end zone. It is now going to be 3rd and 1 at the 3rd and goal from the 1, and that's the end of the first quarter. So we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back here on SHN Sports, your home for Lion football. We'll be back. Stay with us. Looking back here to the field in Pflugerville, Texas, as the Lions trail the Pflugerville Panthers by a score of 14-0. Pflugerville looking to extend that lead here as they get near the goal line. as we open the second period, the Lions looking at a potential trailing by 3 scores, and you want to avoid that if you can at all costs. And they're going to get in a short yardage formation. They do have 2 receivers on the wide side. Taylor takes the snap straight ahead, and the Lions able to stuff those 2 gaps, those A gaps.
That was number 5. That was old Kessler again.
So now the Panthers have another opportunity here. It's 4th down. They got to make a decision. Are they going to kick a field goal here? They're going to go for it. You put the Lions haven't showed they can move the ball, so you put their backs against the goal line offensively, and it's not a bad decision to go for it here as a coach. What you got to watch for is the fake run by Taylor and a jet sweep or a handoff to Miller.
85 in the flat.
And they hit the tight end as he came out of the back part of the behind the offensive line on the flat there, and that's going to be Javian Martin on the reception from Taylor. And the Lions have dug themselves a pretty good size hole here with a full quarter. Obviously they need to steal a little bit of momentum here. They got to, even if it's here on an extra point, if you can somehow get a block and rob them of that extra point, it's something to start to build on, because Leander's really made the mistakes themselves. This last drive is really the first drive that the Pflugerville Panthers have looked really good. So, and it does, just like I jinxed him, Javier Barrientos misses a little to the right. And so, that could come into play late in the game. But, right now, Leander just needs to worry about focus, execution, and ultimately doing your job as an individual. And that's one of the cultural things that, the Lions were known for decades, that, with the growth in the area and the resulting factors that, I've mentioned ad nauseum on this broadcast in the past. You lose players to Cedar Park, then you lose players to Vista Ridge, then you lose players to Rouse, then you lose players to Glen. It makes it difficult to maintain a program at a high level like it was at, but you got to do with what you have. And so the Lions are going to see if they can dig themselves out of this hole, down 20-0. Barrientos to kickoff for the Pflugerville Panthers. Back deep, we've got an array of kick returners. It's going to be Wooldridge and number 0, E.J. Hargrave back deep, and then they flip as number 84, Steriker, and Wooldridge flip, and then so does Hargrave. And it's a short, like an onside, and there to get on it, number 23 for Leander, Salorm Corshi. I know how to say that, Salorm Corshi, and he'll have a nice catch. And, Corshi's a running back, so that's why he's wearing 23. He's playing a little bit of defensive line too, but he's too athletic to kick a little short kick like that. He's not going to let that get by him. The only way that you're going to get him there is if he doesn't pay attention in terms of try to go block before.
That's what we were expecting, to catch him sleeping on that one.
Yep, and that would have been huge, because they would have had another possession, another opportunity to add more to their lead. Coming out in pistol formation, it's going to be Logan Mitchell. To his left is Gordon. They faked Gordon. Mitchell down the left sideline for Wooldridge. What a catch! Up over the back of the defender, number awesome. 9. Brandon Bradshaw, as he climbed the ladder basically right up Bradshaw's back and made an excellent catch. Wow. And you can see why he's a weapon.
Yeah, I definitely would run that again right now.
Well, even a little bit better pass from Mitchell, and that's a touchdown. So, it was a good play there.
A way to come back for it.
A good enough pass. He prevented a good defender from even being able to make a play on it, but ultimately – that's Zane Wooldridge making a huge play for the Lions here to try to get some of the momentum back. And the Leander's going to have to get points on the board for it to really shift towards their side. They've got 3 receivers on the left side of the formation. That's the short side. As Mitchell takes the snap, looks that way. He rolls that direction up into the corner of the end zone, intended for Wooldridge right there at the front corner. And good defense there by Jalen Thompson, as there is a flag in the backfield, though. Let's see what it is. Oh, the Lions will take that.
We'll take that.
So that'll put the ball at the 10-yard line, and the Lions will have a 1st and goal after the personal foul penalty for roughing Logan Mitchell. You know, when that quarterback's standing tall in the pocket and he gets rid of the ball, as tasty as it looks as a defensive player, you got to pull up. You can't hit him. So Mitchell looking to the sideline for the play call as the Lions are in the huddle. He gives that to his team, and they'll break the huddle. Hargrave, or rather Gordon, to the right of Mitchell. We've got a wide receiver on either side of the formation. They fake to Gordon, and it's a keeper by Mitchell, and Pflugerville had sniffed that out well before the play was even snapped. It looked like they were waiting on it. Not to go back and date myself, but when I used to play Tecmo Bowl, if you called the right play, the offense couldn't do anything, and that's kind of what that looked like right there.
They didn't even have a chance on that one.
So that it's still 2nd and goal, but now the line of scrimmage at the 14 for the Lions. Logan Mitchell gets his play call here. The good thing about that is it gives the opportunity for Mitchell to throw the football down here. You don't have to rely solely on the run. And it looks like we got a new running back. There's a pass into the flat, and it is a touchdown. Zane Wooldridge on the reception in the front corner of the end zone from Logan Mitchell, and the Lions break the seal on the 2024 season with a touchdown and cut into the lead that Pflugerville had. It's now 20-6, and the Lions looking to add the extra point here with number 32, the place kicker Rene Rodriguez. Holding for him will be Aiden Sterker. We've seen him return a couple of kicks tonight.
Number 84, Aiden Striker.
It's almost like they set up that play for a loss just to throw it.
Yeah, give him more room. That's what I was saying. You give him a little bit more room, it makes the pass easier. Kick is up and good from Rodriguez, and the Lions are now down 20-7. So back to a 2-possession game here. Still 10 minutes left in the first half. The Lions have wrestled a little bit of the momentum away. We'll see if they can continue to capitalize. They'll need to get a big play here defensively. You go in down 20-14 or 20-10. That's easily manageable. The one thing you can't do is let Pflugerville either return a kick or have an easy offensive drive down the field to get more points before the half. So you got to get a stop here. This is a really key possession defensively. And would you consider blitzing or anything like that, Frank? Or you want to play your base defense?
I'd throw a few blitzes out there. Right now, honestly, I'd go for an onside kick right now. Keep some momentum on our side.
If the coach gets a hot streak and you make the right play calls, you can really wreak havoc on an offense with those blitzes. But Taylor's been the quarterback for Pflugerville for this, I believe, is his 3rd year. So he's got a lot of experience. He may be able to capitalize and take advantage, because what always happens when you blitz, you leave an area of the field open, right? So we'll see how they decide to go. But they, in my opinion, they need to make a play. So I agree with you. I would probably maybe a delayed blitz or something, but I would definitely bring something. Rene Rodriguez to kick for the Lions. And he gets his toe into it. It's going to be fairly deep. It's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line, out to the 15, the 20, up the seam. It's at the 40, and he trips up as he goes over the 40. That was Kyron McFrazier. He had a touchdown, almost had a touchdown earlier, but was tripped up once again. He needs to pick his feet up or tie his shoes or something, because something's going on when he's dragging his feet across the field and he falls down. But no penalty flags and decent field position at the 43-yard line for Pflugerville. Score still 20-7 with 9:52 remaining in the half. The Lions will bring out their defense. They got a 3-man front.
They almost got ugly quick on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like I was saying, you can't give up a kick return for a score. And so Salorm Corshi there at nose. Caleb Lemire on that left side of the line.
And on the right side here is Isaiah
3-1.
Connolly. Their handoff straight ahead, and that's one of the problems with a little 3-3 is you give some seams there, and that run by Miller is about 9 yards on the gain. He's just shy of the first down by about a yard. Now they're going to give him the first down at the 47 in line territory. So reset of the chains. We got twins on either side of Taylor. The other running back now, Quentin James, along with Miller. Got two receivers here on the near side of the formation as the ball's basically in the middle of the field. Taylor takes the snap, drops back, has a receiver open. Oh, that wasn't a receiver. That was a defender that just dropped that pass. That was Jake Bridwell, who could have easily been going the other direction. And there was a penalty flag anyway, so that play probably wouldn't have counted as that was a pre-snap 5-yard penalty. False start by the offense.
That would have been a nice present, though, right there.
Yeah. The problem with that is that it's not one that you can decline when
No,
there's a penalty like that. So Pflugerville basically had a free play there. Bridwell dropped a sure interception there. So Taylor looking to the sideline for the Panthers to get the call. Miller remains the running back for the Pflugerville Panthers. Currently looks like we're going to have two receivers here on the near side, a tight end and a receiver on the short side of the field. And Pflugerville's going to call the timeout as the play clock winds down. Now, Frank, let's talk about this a little bit. We've really only seen one good drive out of the 5 drives that Pflugerville has had so far, but they still are able to get 3 touchdowns, one obviously on a interception. And they had a big play on a drive here to get them down near the goal line where they were able to capitalize. So the Lions, they have the Panthers here at midfield. It's 1st and 14 right now. What do you do? What do you call here? Do you come out in a 3-3, or are you going to go back to a 3-4?
I'd go with a 3-4 and hit a little blitz on the end, get some pressure on the quarterback. Because, I mean, that's those last touchdowns they had were blown coverages.
Mm-hmm.
Get some man press on the outside, get in the quarterback's face. He won't have time to throw that ball.
Well, and you can bring, when you're running a 3-4, you have 4 defensive backs. You can bring that strong safety up a little bit and maybe blitz him as well. So the big spread formation here, 4 receivers and 1 running back. They'll bring one of those receivers in motion to the near side. Taylor throws it in the flat to him. There's what looked like a hole. The pass complete, a missed tackle, but the line swarm and are able to tackle the receiver. That's number 6, Quentin James.
We got a guy down on the field.
And it looks like
Number 23.
Official timeout, injured player.
Well, again, it could this time of year it could be cramping, but it does look like that James got back to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 for Pflugerville after this brief injury timeout. If that's 23, that's Lorem Corsh. He's been playing 1 and 3 technique depending on the alignment of the offense. So that's a tough job there playing nose. You ever play any nose?
A couple times in the playoffs just to get some excitement off the ball.
Yeah. Well, it's difficult because you usually have 2 guys blocking you every time.
Yeah.
Right? You get a guard and a center almost every time. Now, one of them might peel off and try to pick up a guy at the second level, but ultimately the initial contact is you and 2 other guys. So it's really important to plug that middle
and play demolition man.
Yeah, to not be moved at all. And Corsi has got a good base. Like I said, he played a lot of running back last year and on the sub varsity, so he's certainly athletic and got strong legs. He was the short yardage guy, and so he looks like he's going to be okay. And it may have been a cramp. It looks like he's walking fine. They'll get a good look at him on the sideline. We'll see who they bring in for him. As we head to 2nd and 10 for the Panthers with 8:38. Ball marked at the Leander 47-yard line. Pflugerville on top, 20-7. Lions need a big play defensively. They need to get off the field here and give their offense a chance to score points before half. They moved the defensive end to that spot in the middle.
You got some
They got
pressure
a
out
little
there.
counter play out of the pistol, and running back's going to get dragged from behind
3 yards right there.
by number 15, Isaiah Conley. So that'll bring up 3rd down and about 7. Maybe they looks like they gave him 4 yards, so make it 3rd and 6. Big play here for the Lion defense to try to get off the field.
Hargrave came screaming off that edge over there.
Taylor, the quarterback still. Miller, the running back. We have 3 receivers on the top of the formation. There's a snap. Taylor looking to that direction, throws deep down the seam. Nobody there as he overthrew the receiver by about 7, 8 yards. 2 defenders there for the Lions. Probably a wise throw from Taylor, and that's goes to what I was saying. He's been starting for 3 years. He's not going to turn the ball over and just try to fit it in there if it's not easily done. And so they'll bring out the punting unit. Still up 2 scores, and smart play by Coach Taylor to punt the ball away. Keyshawn Ware is the punter. And he is a linebacker wearing number 11. Back deep is Zane Wooldridge for Leander, number 1. Ware, no pressure. Ball's going to bounce, and Wooldridge is going to let it bounce. It's going to be downed around the 12-yard line by number 12, Breland Hill. So the Lions will come out with their offense. They got a lot of green in front of them, but plenty of time to get down the field and get some points here as they want to go into the half, just down 1 score if they can, or at the very least 10 points. You want to cut into this lead, as we've said already.
Well, it's good. The Lions found an identity, so now
Right.
we got to score. We got to stop. Now we go back and do it again.
And they let Pflugerville have a couple of those scores pretty easily. And what really was more of Leander making mistakes than Pflugerville making plays, although it was a good play on that interception for a pick 6 for that Pflugerville defense. Now 20-7, Lions with the ball, 1st and 10.
The Hargrave in the backfield.
Mitchell, the quarterback, he'll take a snap, fake to the running back, fake a throw, and then it's down the sideline. That's going to be a touchdown. Zane Wooldridge is too fast. That is a 90 or make it an 88-yard touchdown pass from Logan Mitchell to Zane Wooldridge. It happened so quickly, I couldn't even make the call.
88 out the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the kind of play that you'll take all day long. We kind of joked a little bit with Silver Aguirre, the wide receiver coach, about, what do you prefer, possession or big play? And, obviously you'll take a big play from anywhere on the field, and that is the example that you want, right?
Hey, Zane has proven that he's the guy. So right now, just strike while it's hot right now. Just
And
keep striking.
the thing that's crazy is Pflugerville knows that Zane's the guy, and they're doing what they can to stop him, but he's still making big plays. And so in for the point after is going to be Rene Rodriguez. He'll take the snap, and the kick is up.
There you go.
And
Just
it
like
is
that.
good. Frank's namesake, the sophomore, knocks in the extra point, and the Lions are now within 6 points, now 20-14. The funny thing is people track scores all over the area on the different apps, and I guarantee you people from Cedar Park and other teams in our district are like, oh my God, Leander's down 20-0.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, and they're going to look again and be like, what happened?
Yep, stay tuned.
And that just shows that not only is Wooldridge explosive, but that was an excellent pass from the quarterback, Logan Mitchell. He had defenders falling all around him in the pocket. He did the little shoulder pump fake on the initial throw, which drew the defenders towards the line of scrimmage. Not that Wooldridge couldn't have got beyond them anyway, but it gave him a couple of extra steps and made it easy for him to take it into the house.
As the young kids say, that was a dot right there.
Yeah, that was right on target, and you see why Logan Mitchell is the number 1 QB right now for the Lions. Now, of course, Mason Montgomery, a little bit younger, will work his way in, and he'll get his opportunities either in this game, which I expect to see him again, probably in the second half, or in the weeks to come. Rodriguez to kick. We'll see if he kicks it deep again. It's going to be a down fielded around the 15-yard line. And I think that was Kyron McFrazier again. He'll carry it up to around the 29. He's tackled by number 16, Dominic Jaramillo. Sounds like
I got a secondary tackle from Liam Walters as
yeah,
well.
sounds like Walters was in there according to the PA. We give credit where it's due. Good effort. Special teams, you got to be a little crazy to be on that kickoff coverage team, and we saw pretty good coverage there from the lines. This is probably the worst field position that Pflugerville's had on the evening at their own 29.
Lions back out with a 3-3.
We'll see. Well, looks like they got a 3-4 going. Well, they might be a D-back, the safety over there. You're right. Pistol. Taylor rolls to his left.
There you go.
Tries to throw it in the flat. It looks like it hits the turf. Are they going to give him that reception? They are not. It was intended for number 6, Quentin James. A couple of line defenders there, but the pass kind of low. So even if he had made that reception, he was going no further than that spot where he would have made the catch. 2nd and 10 now for the Panthers. Lions looking to keep the momentum here, see if they can get the ball back quickly for their offense. 7:20, clock not moving here in the second period. Long look at the sideline. We're down to about 10 seconds on the play clock. Miller, the running back, to the left of Cole Taylor. 2 receivers either side of this spread formation. They'll hand to Miller on the right side. He's able to get a nice gain close to a first down. They're going to give him the first down to the 40. Looks like number 24, Liam Walters, on the tackle. 2nd down and 10, or no, it's 1st and 10 now for Pflugerville at the 40. And the Lions need to get a stop here. You can't give up 10-yard runs at any point, right? That's one of the things that'll drive a defensive coach crazy. Miller will remain the running back next to Taylor. Same formation. They'll bring guy in motion. They'll fake to him. Good pressure.
There you go.
Pass down the right sideline intended for Kyrene McFrazier.
Oh, man, that was
Late
late.
flag there. That was not an interference. That was pretty good coverage, I thought, by number 24, Nicholas Winton.
That was even better pressure as well, right
Yeah.
in the quarterback's face.
Yeah, if anything, that contact on the quarterback is something that you would expect to be called, even though it didn't look bad, the way they protect quarterbacks. Okay, so they're not saying it was interference. They're saying it was a holding. So that's a 5-yard penalty. That'll move the ball to midfield, but it will give Pflugerville a new set of downs at that location as at the equator.
Hey, 5 yards is better than 50.
Yeah.
You know?
Line's a little jumpy there as Taylor still, and look for Pflugerville to try to take advantage of that jumpiness of that line front at some point during this game. Miller to the left of Taylor, and they'll bring Wright into the backfield, and they'll flip it out to Miller, and he had nobody. That's a defensive breakdown right there. You've got so many skill guys. You got to have one person for each of those guys at a bare minimum, and Miller. You don't get many easy catches like that out of the backfield, and Miller able to carry it down to the 32 of Leander. Lions going to have to get a stop here and at least try to force a field goal going into the half. There's still 6:25 and counting here in the second quarter. Miller still in the backfield with Taylor. They'll pitch it on the jet sweep to number 2, and he'll carry it up near the 30. That's Jason Evans, the ball carrier. He'll pick up 2 yards. Sounds like Bridwell was on the tackle.
That was a good job by Conley to get out there, too.
So 2nd and 7. This is a big play in this series of downs. If you can get a no gain or a loss here, then that makes 3rd down difficult, and you force a decision there on 4th down. If you're able to stop them on 3rd, obviously, whether or not they want to kick a field goal. We haven't seen them kick more than just a short extra point. It hasn't looked just super effective kicks. That pass complete again in the flat, and this time number 6 again, James, and he'll pick up a first down to the 20 as Pflugerville matriculating down the field, having another pretty good drive here. This is really their second quality drive offensively, And you got to give credit to that Pflugerville offense. They could be reeling right now after the big play by Wooldridge and the momentum shifting to Leander. They're trying to wrestle it back from the lines now, Taylor, with Miller in the backfield. They're going to hand straight ahead to Miller.
There you go.
Big push from the defensive
Party in
line.
the backfield right there.
Number 15 coming up with the tackle, Isaiah Connolly. No gain, maybe a loss of about a yard to the 21. Another big play here on second down. If they can get another loss or no gain, you force a third and long, and then get a stop, and you again force that decision. I'm not confident in Pflugerville's kicker from what I've seen thus far, so they maybe 3 more downs in this set of downs for Pflugerville, even if you get a couple of stops here. Man in motion. Taylor takes the snap, looks to his right, hits up the right sideline, and completes the pass for a touchdown to number 1, Kyron McFrazier. And by the time the defender got his head around to look to see where the ball was, the receiver was past him and catching the football. That was just a good play by Taylor. And that is Zane Wooldridge out there on the cornerback spot. They're trying to provide coverage, and that's one of the things you rely on a guy on both sides of the ball. You can get worn out pretty quickly out here on the football field. Now 26-14 is the score. Barrientos to kick the extra point for the Panthers. Snap, hold, kick is up. And it is good. You can see there on that extra point kick, it doesn't get real high up over the crossbar. And so you can see where Pflugerville is not going to rely on their kicker this year. They're going to rely on number 7, Cole Taylor, and all of those skill guys. They got skill guys to burn there on that Pflugerville sideline. So it is now 27-14. Lions down 13 points. Still 4:22 remaining in the half. And as I mentioned, the offense can come out and get points here going into the half, and you're still only down 10 or 6. So, but you got to take advantage. You got to execute. The defense was on the field for a little while in that series, so you want to give them a little bit of a blow if you can, because that Pflugerville offense was clicking on that last drive.
Yeah, just can't give up that deep ball right there. That was decent defense right there.
Yeah, what do you come out here on first down? What are you calling? Are you calling a pass? Or you running the ball? I mean,
I got 4 minutes left. I'm gonna set up the pass. I'm gonna run it and set up the pass.
so you're gonna set it up with the run. Like I would set the run up with the pass on this. That would be my choice. But we'll see here what the offensive coaches do, and they may not even have an opportunity to call play
Because
back
everybody
deep
knows what's the next play, right?
Yeah. Well, everybody back deep is good kick returners, and that looks like Wooldridge is not back deep, so he played a little bit of defense there. They're giving him an opportunity to get a breather. They may be using him here offensively again in this next series, and you want to get him some rest. You want to keep him out there and make him do special teams as well. So we'll see what kind of return the Lions can get here off the foot of Barrientos. He's a southpaw, and that kick is
Penalty marker on the play.
there is a penalty flag down. They took too long, so they're going to back them up, and that'll give the Lions decent enough field position with Barrientos' leg and an additional 5 yards to push the Panthers back is helpful.
They will take it.
So they'll be kicking from the 35-yard line now, as the referee marks it off. Lets Barrientos know you've got to set your own tee there, buddy. I'm just the back judge. So Barrientos ready in the Pflugerville formation. They're a little tight there in the middle, and as they spread out, we'll see if he kicks it short again. They probably will kick it a little deep, and is kicked somewhat deep. It's going to be fielded by Hargrave, and doesn't get much there. Able to get up to about the 33, 34-yard line. The Lions will have the ball 1st and 10 with 4:11 remaining. We'll bring you a quick little analysis as we open half. And unfortunately, you know, we'll leave the mics on in case we can pick up any of the band's music. But again, we've had a little trouble with the crowd mic this evening. There's not a port. We normally can plug in a port and use the stadium's microphones, and not tonight. So, you know, we'll do our best. The Lions break the huddle on the sideline and come straight into formation.
Montgomery's out there.
It is Mason Montgomery with the running back number 21, Camarion Gordon. And I said that we were going to see Montgomery again. You know, he had an interception, but you don't want him to lose any confidence, right? Any confidence you built in the spring, the last thing you want to do is keep him out of the game because he made a mistake, right? Because you got to get him ready in case, you know, Mitchell has an issue this year, goes down with an injury, and regardless, he graduates, so you got to have Montgomery ready for next season. So they'll break the huddle and to a spread with two receivers on either side of the formation. Gordon, the running back. Montgomery fakes a couple of throws, decides to run straight ahead, carries up over the 35. And that's, you know, I wonder if he hesitated because he didn't want to throw another interception or, you know, I couldn't tell. It looked like Pflugerville had pretty good coverage.
Gain of 2 yards.
3:11 and counting on the clock. Lions huddling up here, 3rd and 8. They got to get a big play here because otherwise you want to kick it away. You don't want to give Pflugerville a short field with enough time to score, especially with the way Cole Taylor has been playing. We got twin receivers on either side of this spread formation. Gordon, the running back, next to Montgomery. There's a snap. They faked to Gordon. Montgomery runs to his left. He runs over a defender and he's able to reach the ball out. We'll see if they give him the first down. It depends on the spot. They're going to say he's short by a couple of yards, it looks like. It looked like it was a lot closer than that, but it's a decision time for the Lions as it's 4th and 2.
He gave it to that DB, though.
Right around the 41. The Lions got to get to the 43. He did. He lowered his shoulder, and that'll knock any butterflies out of you if you still had any left. And Lions keep their offense out there. They'll probably wind the clock down and call a timeout here. They have one left. Down to 5 seconds on the play clock, and that is exactly what they're going to do.
Let's make some noise, sports fans. They appear to be going for it.
Well, there's a whistle. Was there a timeout or is there a flag? Because the play clock is at 0. Looks like. So they're going to take the delay game, and it looks like they'll probably come out and punt. Let me run down the sponsors one more time here in this quarter. We have Quality Moving and Storage, digdwell.com, Thrifty Goat Graphics, Learnley 123, Cedar Park Law, Wyndham Roofing, Pigpen Cycles, Baldy's Jeep Shop, Walks It To You, Brooklyn Heights Pizzeria, Guaco Taco, Lucky Rabbit, Community Blessing Outreach at LHS. And we're back on the field. The punter is ready to punt. That's Rene Rodriguez. He'll take the snap, has plenty of times, able to get off a good punt. Got the
that's nice.
Returner running all the way back. He's able to field it at the 12, though, and get up over the 30, and he's spun down by number 5, Calvin Kessler, at around the 37. So a pretty decent return there by Jason Evans. So it'll be Pflugerville ball with 1:34. The remaining sponsors: Bear Electric, Mercy Veterinary Hospital, Bill Miller's Barbecue, RDZ Roofing, Raising Cane's, Golden Chick, Toyota of Cedar Park, Texas State Optical Cedar Park, Whitestone Fine Jewelry. It sounded like there was a penalty, too. So Sisk Rob, they didn't say what it was. Sisk Rob Incorporated, one of the sponsors. JT Reisdorf at State Farm, A-Plus Septic Cleaning and Repairs, Grissom Insurance Group, BlackRock Coffee, Modern Shade, Milo Aquatics, and MLD Services Incorporated. We want to thank all those sponsors for their sponsorships, and it looks like that's going against Pflugerville. That'll move the line of scrimmage back a little bit. Well, Nope, they're just saying it's at the 37. That's where he returned it to. So it'll be 1st and 10, Pflugerville.
Real important not to give up the deep ball right before halftime because Pflugerville comes out the gate with the ball.
And we've seen Taylor be able to fit it in there. He's kind of in a pass formation. Looks like they're going to hand him to Miller, and it's a reverse. Out in front is Taylor blocking and able to knock him out of bounds. That running back was Kieran McFrazier. No, check that. That was number 2, Jason Evans. You see who made the tackle?
Tyree Smith, number 12.
Number 12, Tyree Smith, able to get out there. It is a first down, Pflugerville. Clock at 1:26, assuming that he went out of bounds on that play because they have not wound the game clock. So the tackle was to force him out of bounds, and that's an extra defender. Anybody who's played defense, especially on the edges, knows that you use that sideline as an extra defender. Taylor kind of tries to draw the line defense off sides, and instead Coach Charles Taylor will call a timeout for the Panthers. And so on a 1st and 10 with 1:26 remaining, Pflugerville 1 timeout left, Leander 1 timeout left. And we're close to halftime. Well, as I mentioned, Frank, we'll give a quick analysis and, we'll turn it over to the, hopefully they'll pick up some sound for the bands, and we'll take a break and get ready for the second half. The Lions are going to have to go into the locker room and get to the drawing board on both sides of the ball. They've shown flashes of quality play on both sides of the ball. You just need to be more consistent, Frank.
Yeah, we just need to get a stop right here and go into halftime, make these adjustments, come back out swinging.
How important is the mental aspect of the game of football?
It's very important. You got to have that short-term memory. Bad plays happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let it consume you and make you play like that for the rest of the game. You got to just forget about it, get back out there and make another play.
Move past that.
Because it happens. Stuff happens.
Right.
You'll see it in film.
It's stressful, too. That's the other part.
Yeah. It's hard to be perfect out there, but we all try.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. So we got 3 receivers for Taylor on the wide side of the formation. Miller to his left. They'll bring one guy in motion. He stops. There's a snap. Throw down the left sideline to the tight end. He almost made that catch. Did he? No, he's out of bounds. Boy, that was close, and he has a touchdown already tonight, number 85, Javion Martin, and he's a big old tight end. And if I remember correctly, I think one of the coaches had said that he's a D1 recruit, number 85, and we see he's got size, speed, and pretty good hands because it did look like he ended up coming down with that football. He was just out of bounds by the time he gained possession of it. 2nd down and 10 now with 1:20. We're 80 seconds away from half. They'll bring a man in motion, hand to Miller straight ahead. He's able to slip one guy, but not the next. The next Pride Alliance there in the middle to get the stop. No gain on the play. 3rd down and 10 for Pflugerville. Big play here for the Lion defense as the clock moving with 1 minute remaining in the half.
I'm sure you know what the next play is for Pflugerville right here.
Yeah, they're probably going to throw the ball, I would think.
Yeah. Deep.
Yeah, I don't know, though. I might be happy to go in with a 2-score lead considering they lost to Leander last year, 48-28. Taylor with Miller in the backfield, 3 receivers, top of the formation. And you're right, they're looking down that left sideline and up the seam. They got a man open, and that is a touchdown to number 1, Kieran McFrazier. And that is all Cole Taylor on that play. The initial play, and there's a penalty flag down over near the goal line. It might be an excessive celebration or frustration on the line defenders. I didn't see what happened. I just saw the flag come out. But Taylor, his first option was covered by the Lion defense, and it looked like he was just going to scramble out to the right and throw the ball away. And number 1, Kieran McFrazier came open down that right hash, and Taylor was able to fit that football right to him to give the Panthers a 3-score lead here going into the half with 30 seconds remaining. Point after attempt coming up. Discussion by the referees on the penalty flag.
I mean, you got to get some pressure back there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let him get that pass off with that much time.
No, he's too good. You can't leave him that comfortable back there. You got to figure something out, and that's where sometimes you got to draw some blitzes out. So it looks like whatever the penalty. So they're going to call that against the receiver. So he must have had some words for his defender. They'll assess it on the kickoff.
How about you wave that wand again?
Well, and you never know, that penalty may be the difference for
Yeah.
the line offense to get into scoring position. We'll see here as right now Barrientos, his extra point is blocked.
There you go. Way to wave the wand again.
So down to the score now, a 19-point lead for the Panthers. And the Lions, again, they're going to have a 15-yard penalty assessed here at the kick off, which they'll be kicking off from the 20. So the line returners will be right around the 40-yard line, 35-yard line. They get a good return. You're almost in field goal range with Rene Rodriguez and a couple of, really just one good first down if you get a decent return and you have an opportunity to score if you can't get it into the end zone. So we'll see here what the Lions have over the last 30 seconds this ball game.
You got 31 seconds of Warriors right there, just down the line.
You got to take advantage of every second on the clock. So.
Yeah.
And Barrientos will kick off. Let's see, they should be moving that. Looks like they're going to kick from the 25. I guess they kick from the 40. I don't know why. I guess I'm thinking NFL kicking from the 35. So the returner's right around the 30 for Leander. Barrientos probably does better here on the kickoff than we've seen on his PATs. We haven't seen him attempt a field goal yet. That PAT, that T is a little closer to the line of scrimmage than it is on a normal field goal. So that may be a difference. And a little squib kick didn't even go 10 yards. I don't know if he touched it or not. It didn't go 10 yards. They're going to say it is Leander's ball at the 30, and that was just a poor decision. If it was the coach or the player, bad choice. And the Lions will have an opportunity to score here.
We'll take that lifeline right there.
They're almost in field goal range. Honestly, if you get, I'm not sure he's got the same distance as his older brother did, but his older brother could kick him from around the 45-yard line, teeing up around the 45 and get real close. So we've seen him make a very long one to tie a game last year. We'll see if the Lions they'll have at least 2 plays here to try to get down a little closer, if not get a touchdown out of it. It looks like they're going to give them the ball at the 31. So points here are vital, and even if it's a field goal, you cut the lead down to 16. That's only 2 scores, 2 possessions is the difference. And it looks like Coach Price is out talking to the referees about where that football should be. And it looks like he's saying it should be on the other side of the 30, but and we've got 3 line coaches out there on the field right now. Last thing you want to do is get a penalty flag. Now Coach Taylor for Pflugerville is going to come over to his sideline referee and see what's going on. There's a long, long discussion. Are they going to give the ball to Pflugerville after all of that? It's unfortunate.
It didn't go 10 yards, but one of the Leander defenders went up there and
Well, I didn't
pressed the
see who
issue.
ended up with the ball, though, and the initial call was to Leander, and it looks like they're giving the ball to Pflugerville at the 31-yard line with 29 seconds, and that's about as bad as it can be on a call there going into the half when you think you're going to have an opportunity here. The Lions defense just got off the field. It did not even go 10 yards, so
it had to have been somebody touched it. And, you said it during the call. You said, don't touch the ball. And somebody dove at the ball. It's
You got to stay back, know where your boundaries are at.
and you got to know where the ball is kicked from and where it's spinning around on the turf. But looks like Pflugerville's just going to take a knee here and go to halftime with a 19-point lead.
Yeah, I still wouldn't even trust that.
Yeah, especially if that's it. It is Cole Taylor because he certainly got the leg, but they got nobody in any receiver position, so they'll have to release from either the backfield or those tight end positions. One of those tight ends is Kieran McFrazier, who caught that last touchdown pass. So you should, if you're a line defender, be watching those guys on the ends. Don't get comfortable just because it's a quote unquote victory formation or a kneeling formation here. So long talk. His Coach Price is dressing down the white hat over near the 31-yard line. Not pleased is Coach Price with probably big chunks of the line performance here in the first half, but take it out on the referee. Get some of it out of the way, but you save some of it for the locker room as well, Coach. Because there's some guys that could be playing a little bit better tonight, and it's still not out of reach by any stretch. So Taylor in that kneeling formation, he'll take a shotgun snap to do it, and he'll take a knee at the 26. Lions do have a timeout. They're not going to burn it. It looks like that'll be the halftime. So give us a moment, and we will give you a quick analysis of the first half, and we'll go from there. Try it again. Well, we went and moved it, so go back to the field. Try it again. Go back to the field. All right. Real quick analysis for the first half. We saw some highlights, big plays from Zane Wooldridge, good passes from Logan Mitchell, but the Lions couldn't get out of their own way, especially on a few series early in the ball game, and they've dug themselves a little bit of a hole. They were able to get out of it, get within a score, but back in it as Pflugerville made a surge there in the end of the half.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
Leander's proven that they can compete with these guys. I mean, we can go down there, throw the ball just like they can as well, but we gotta play defense. We gotta get some pressure in the backfield and get to that quarterback so he's not able to just throw as he pleases.
So what do you say if you're Coach Price in the half?
Keep your head up.
Keep it clean though.
Keep it. I hear you on that. Keep your head up and make these adjustments. Get some pressure on the quarterback and press your man. Press your man. Don't let him get down the field so quick.
Yeah.
And
you can't give opportunities to number 7, Cole Taylor. He's
no.
shown that he's a quality quarterback, and really he's the difference in this game so far. So we'll take a quick break for half. We'll send it down to the field for the Bluebells, and hopefully you can hear the music of the bands. And we'll be back for the second half. Stay with us here on SHN Sports, your home for Lion football.
Performing a traditional routine that began in 1988, along with the amazing Leander Marching Band, here are your Leander Bluebells dancing to Get It On. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it once again for the incredible Leander High School Bluebells. We would also like to give a heartfelt thank you to their amazing parents, the Leander High School administration, and the unconditional support of Leander High School marching band and football program. Go Lions! And now, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the field the Leander High School marching band. Leander Band has been recognized for outstanding achievements throughout the entire country. The band is a consistent finalist in the bands across America, in San Antonio and Austin, the UIL 5A State Marching Contest, and the Bands of America Grand Nationals Champions. This November, the Leander Band will be traveling to Indianapolis, Indiana to compete in the Bands of America Grand Nationals Champions. Congratulations to the members of the week, woodwinds Ari Chun, brass Axel Uyula, Xbox XZ Garcia, percussion Kiona Sotomayor, guard Reed Spearing Hubnish. Section of the week is the baritones. Tonight, the Leander High School Band will perform movements from their 2024 field production, Shades, featuring the music of Peter Gabriel, Cottage, Copley, and Jacob Collier, under the direction of Drum Majors Natalie Cox, Jason Rodriguez, Kayla King, Mariah Reeves, and Kyra Vance. The Leander High School Marching Band.
Defense just got off the
Leander, Texas, Leander High School Marching Band. Leander Band would like to thank their incredible band parents, amazing administration, the football team, and Coach Chris Price, as well as all of the Bluebells and their coaches Ashley Williams and Lupe Summer. The Leander Band would also like to wish the members of the Pflugerville High School Band and Color Guard best of luck the rest of this season. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Summit Jewelers, Adam Lowy Law Offices, SOSN Woodwork, Spectrum Services, Waste Logic LLC, Release Manual Therapy, Link Architecture, and Megan Schneider Independent Cincy Consultant. Let's hear it one more time for the Leander High School Marching Band.
Please, welcome to the field, the 47th line, Pflugerville Fusion Varsity and JV Dance. Our golden dancers of the week are for the JV, Camila Torres, and for the varsity, Victoria Garcia. The officer for Fusion JV is Captain Sandra Mendieta. Officers for Fusion Varsity are Major Mia Krause and Lieutenant Colonel Mary Rose. Hands together for the Fusion Dance and JV, performing dazzling field routines to dance the night away. Fusion Dance and JV is brought to you by our diamond sponsors, the Koff family and Salop Real Estate Investment. We would also like to thank our platinum sponsors, More Psychological Services, Cranky Granny Sweet Rolls, Wildflower Orthodontics, Plumbers and Pipe Fitters, Austin's, The Grand Family Dental, Austex Transmission, Hip Hounds, and In-N-Out Burger for their incredible support this season. Fusion Dance is under the direction of Adriana Cortez and Hannah Honeycutt. Fusion Dance and JV would like to wish the Leander Bluebells the best of luck on their 2024-25 dance season. And continue with your halftime entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2024-25 award-winning Pflugerville High School Fight Panther Band. The Panther Band is proudly supported by K. Tooley Enterprises. The show, The Future Is Now, highlights the music of Daft Punk, including Arrival and Technologic, as well as Everything in Its Right Place by Radiohead, The Red Machine by Peter Graham, The Chairman Dances by John Adams, Run to You by Pentatonics, Lost It to Trying by Sun Lux, and original works by Carol Britton Chambers. Featured performers for this show include Marcelino Luna, Amy Martinez, Olaf Rich, Oscar Sanchez, and Xavier Estrada. And now, Led on the Field by drum majors Rilo Baker, Sheila Abbott, and Cyrus Peterson. The Fightin' Panther Band proudly presents parts 1 and 2 of The Future Is Now. member of the week, Mr. Sanchez. Brass member of the week is Grayson Villagomez. Our percussion member of the week, Marius Conradi. Color guard member of the week, Kenny Sanchez. Section of the week is the color guard. And the band booster parent of the week.
Welcome back to the field. We're about a minute, 15 seconds away from the kickoff of the second half. The Pflugerville Panthers kicked off to open the ball game, so the Lions should be receiving the second half kick, right? Did I remember that incorrectly? I did?
It should be Pflugerville getting the ball this second half.
Okay.
They
Well,
start off kicking with the kicking tee.
yeah. Well, there's so much chaos in that first half that, it looks like I slipped it a little bit on my memory. And that's one of the things that doing this broadcasting I should get better at, and that's taking notes. Um, there are forms that you can use that will allow you to keep track of statistics, but ultimately it's tough enough for me to follow the game action at the pace that it is. And as you've seen, it's pretty quick paced other than, a timeout here or there. Ultimately, both teams are moving pretty quickly with the football. The Panthers up big right now, 33-14. They come running through their tunnel to open the second half, carrying an American flag for the Pflugerville Panthers. You like to see that honoring the country, number 2, Jason Evans. And here come the Lions out of their tunnel. And we'll get underway here momentarily for the second half. The Lions, they're on defense here to open the half. They're going to have to look for some big plays to try to get that ball back quickly. What can they do to stop Taylor? We talked about it a little bit off air. Tell the audience what your opinion is on how to stop a guy like Cole Taylor.
And just pressure him. Pressure all day. Let them know the Lions are here, and they're going to be in your face all day.
And we've seen where when they had pressure, the Panthers weren't as successful, right? But what is the bugaboo, the drawback from sending in pressure on a quarterback? What happens to your defense?
You get too far in the backfield, and there's more hats on the other side available to catch that ball. So
Right, and it leaves an area of the field open, right? So if you're bringing your safety in from that strong safety or rover, whatever he's called, on the side, then if somebody like Cole Taylor, who's very talented, he's taught to look that way because there's usually an opening in the defense. So it does look like Pflugerville is going to be back to receive. It's going to be number 2, Jason Evans. And I think that's number 21, Devin Banks. I'm going to go turn the line off real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, and the Lions in the huddle. Rene Rodriguez going to kick off for Leander here to open the second half. Leander's going to need to be able to get a stop here in the second half.
Rodriguez.
And we'll see here. I'm sure there were some choice words in probably both locker rooms because we saw mistakes on both teams. Unfortunately, the Pflugerville Panthers able to capitalize a little more on the line mistakes than the other way around. Rodriguez with a little bit of a pooch kick. It's going to hit the ground around the 32, and it's covered by that big tight end, Javion Martin, number 85. They've got him listed as a receiver. There's no way he's a receiver. He's huge. So it'll be Pflugerville football on the 35-yard line. First down and 10 for the Panthers.
still no number 23.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't look like Quarshie's back in. Currently, it looks like they got number 89, Nick Pell, in that nose spot. Taylor with Miller in the backfield, 2 receivers either side of the formation. They'll hand him Miller straight ahead. He'll break a tackle up over the 40, He stood up, but he's able to still push the pile forward for a few more yards. It's number 13, Bridwell, on the tackle, but it is a first down, Panthers at the 48. And it looks like Pflugerville is much improved over last year's squad. They have a lot of size on both sides of the trenches, and it could bode well for them to have a successful season, as they're having a lot of success tonight, especially in those trenches. Martin to the left of Taylor, two receivers on the near side. They'll bring a man in motion. They'll hit him with a little pitch on the jet sweep. He'll cut up near midfield where he's cut down. Gain of about 3 yards. Looks like number 4, Nicholas Parsons, on the stop, as well as Calvin Kessler, number 5. So it's 2nd and 7 from midfield. David Anderson, the old PA for Leander, would call that the equator during games. You probably didn't notice because you were out on the field sweating, but me being in the stands, I noticed what the PA says.
Right past the equator.
We've got 2 receivers on either side of the formation. They'll hand to Miller again, straight ahead off the guard. He'll carry close to the 45. They're going to mark him at the 46 of Leander.
Man, they're just getting gas down there in the A gaps, just open, wide open.
Yeah, they got some beef in there. That was Milne and Kessler on the stop for Leander. This is a big down here. 3rd and about 4. Pflugerville needs to get down to the 47-yard line of Leander in order to continue this drive or get a new set of downs. They may go for it on 4th here around midfield. We'll see. Miller just to the right of Taylor. There's the snap. He'll fake. He'll roll to his right. Pass is complete, and it will be a first down to number 6, Quentin James, as they brought him in motion and allowed Taylor to roll out to the right and had a little easy pitch and catch there for the first down for the Panthers. And they have a pretty good game plan here coming out of the half, as they're able to matriculate slowly down the field. The Lions have limited big plays here early in the half, but we're down to 10 minutes, and Pflugerville still has the football in line territory at the 40. Taylor and Miller looking to the sideline as they get the play call. Miller will line up to the left of Taylor. And they'll hand to Miller again off the right side. This time he starts inside, bounces it out, and it picks up about 8 or 9 yards off a right tackle, as they were able to get a seal on that right side. We're going to give him 7 yards on the gain. It's going to be 2nd and 3. Ball marked at the 33-yard line.
Defense has to get a better push than that. That's 5 yards till they even touch the running back.
Yeah, they were able to turn in the defensive end, Caleb Lemire there. He broke contain and was able to pick up about 7 yards. There's a snap. They're going to hand it this time to number 6. He's able to spin out of a tackle, but not the second one. That's Quentin James on the carry, but he's going to drop a couple of yards, as it looked like number 13, Bridwell, able to get there and clean up the tackle that was initially made by Kessler. So it's going to be 3rd down and 9 here, as this is a much better arrangement for 3rd down than what Leander was looking at after that 2nd down play. Nice job there by the Lion defense. Pflugerville taking their time, letting the play clock wind down. It's down to about 10 seconds counting, and they may end up having to burn a timeout. We're at 5 seconds now. They haven't even got their play in, and they do call a timeout on 3rd and 9 to avoid a penalty and a loss of 5. So 8:31 on the clock here in the 3rd. It's still Pflugerville football. Well, you want to get a stop quickly, right? But Pflugerville looks like they're trying to shorten this game in the second half as much as they can, because Lions, they scored in bunches against Pflugerville last year, and they were able to get a win going away towards the end of the game. The game was tied all the way through the 3rd quarter, and then the Lions kind of blew it out. And with a lead, it looks like Pflugerville's trying to avoid that possibility by burning as much clock as they can. Have to call a timeout here, though.
Well, you got to get pressure on the quarterback. Pflugerville wants to run this type of game. Okay, just keep rushing. That's fine.
Well, and your run fit defense may be the difference here because we haven't really seen much by way of passes here in the second half for Pflugerville in this initial drive. They look like they're trying to push it downfield on the ground and been fairly successful. The Lions, though, have them in 3rd and long here. Do you ever consider run blitzing a possibility, or you like to stay in your base defense when it comes to stopping the run?
I like the blitz
Yeah,
just because that hole opens up as soon as before he gets a chance to open up, you're in his face.
Frank's a gambler, so let's
Let's
see.
roll with it right now. I would blitz right now just to get in Taylor's face right now. Don't give him an opportunity to pass that ball.
We'll see. This is a passing down, 3rd and 9. It looks like Taylor is looking to
Too much
pass. No
time.
pressure,
There you
but then
go.
they
That's
finally get
yeah.
some, and they get a sack right around
Just
the
what
Leander side of midfield, and that's going to be number 15, Isaiah Conley, along with a couple of other lines, and they'll force Pflugerville to punt as it's 4th and about 17 yards, and it looks like Zane Wooldridge will be back to receive this punt. And Wooldridge, the ever dangerous returner for the Lions, a big return here could sway momentum in the second half for Leander.
That's exactly what they needed was a stop. So
Banks's punt is up, and it's a high one. It's going to bounce, and Wooldridge unable to get it. Is Pflugerville able to get down the field, and they're able to get on the ball inside the 5? Looks like it'd be line football at the 4. Almost a bad decision there for Wooldridge. He looked like he might have thought it was going to bounce and roll into the end zone for a touchback, but with it hitting around the 12 or 13, that's a gamble, right? It did not take the bounce he was hoping for.
yeah, we just got to stop. We don't want to give the ball right back to him.
Right. Now it's time to move the ball down the field. You want to avoid turnovers. You want to avoid those pre-snap penalties that have plagued the Lions in past years. We haven't really seen them tonight, but we've seen other mistakes in execution that have cost the Lions offensively. We'll see what we can do with the football here. Mitchell out in as the quarterback and E.J. Hargrave the running back. They have 2 receivers here on the near side of the formation. They'll bring Wooldridge in motion. They'll fake to him on a jet sweep, and Mitchell will carry straight ahead to try to get a little bit of breathing room. He'll get out to the 5-yard line. It's tough sledding there in those A gaps with those Pflugerville defensive tackles, Frank.
Yeah, those are big boys for sure. They don't miss any meals.
No, and you got to get under them, and they're not real tall guys, and I guarantee you they outweigh me, and I'm pretty heavy. So, and I'm tall enough you could get under me and push me back. Those guys, they're no taller than about 5'8", 5'10", and they can get pretty low there. So 2nd down and 9 for Mitchell. Gordon in at running back for Leander. Mitchell looks to throw, and he's got a receiver, and it was Wooldridge, and he tried to run before he caught it. It was a nice pass by Mitchell, hit him right in the basket, and that would have been a 1st down and possibly significantly more with Wooldridge's ability. And instead, it's going to be 3rd and 9, really, with your back against the goal line right at the 5-yard line. This is a huge play. You want to, at minimum, get some yardage so that you can give Rodriguez enough room for a punt, but ultimately you want to obviously get a 1st down here if you can. Long huddle, and the Lions will break it with about 7 seconds on the play clock. They're going to end up having to burn a timeout here. Nope, they were able to get it off. Mitchell on the sideline, able to complete it for a 1st down at the 20, 25, and he gets wrangled down around the 30-yard line, but it is a 1st down Leander. No flags on the play, and the Lions able to keep the drive going. It looks like that receiver was number 16.
Oh, that was Woolridge right there. It was redemption time right there.
Oh, it was? And there is a late flag, and it may be a face mask penalty right around where the tackle was. We'll see if it's a horse collar or face mask or something like that, and we'll see if it gets tacked on after the play and pushes the ball towards midfield for Leander. It's certain the chains haven't moved yet, and it was a late hit against Keyshawn Ware, the linebacker for Pflugerville. The home crowd not happy with the call, but it is what it is. A 1st down for Leander regardless, even if the penalty was unassessed, but instead the Lions will have it at
their own 45 this time, first down. Lions in the huddle. And they'll break the huddle, and it's going to be Gordon right beside Mitchell. There's the snap, and they're going to hand to Gordon straight ahead, and he runs into Ware and number 5, Sonny Davis, right near the line of scrimmage. Looks like he might have picked up a yard. And so it'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Lions.
That boy is not going nowhere. He's just sitting there like an anchor.
He looks like he is a load. He probably puts the pasta away every Thursday night getting ready for the game.
You don't go for seconds, you go for thirds.
Mitchell down the sideline trying to hit Wooldridge, who had a step on the defender, number 3, Thompson, but the pass a little bit too long, just beyond his outstretched fingertips. And so it'll be 3rd down and 9 for Leander. And that's one of those you want to go for it because it is a big play and it was there. You hit it, it's huge, but when you don't, there's a cost, right? It's now 3rd and 9. If you go for a run or a shorter pass here, you might have 3rd and short, but instead around midfield, maybe the Lions go for it on 4th, and this may be 2-down territory. We'll see. Gordon just to the right of Logan Mitchell. They fake to him. There's an open receiver over the middle, and Mitchell hit him right in the hands, and he couldn't handle it. That's Aiden Stericker with a 1st down opportunity, and those are those moments you got to capitalize on if you want to come back in this ball game. We've seen 2 in that in 2 consecutive plays that the Lions could have capitalized on, Frank.
And Mitchell can't. I mean, he puts it right there on the money for him.
Yeah, you can't do much more than that. The pass, the play before to Wooldridge was a little long. You can fault him for that, but that pass was on target. Stericker needs to bring that in. Jason Evans back to receive the Rodriguez punt from Leander. Nice punt. It's a high. Fielded at the 15, at the 20, 25, 30, and he's going to get tackled around the 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers. And now the defense has got to get out here and get another stop in order to allow the offense another opportunity. And, sometimes we've seen Pflugerville get points with their defense. Sometimes you got to rely on your defense to get points or special teams. So we'll see. It looks like the ball is actually going to be the 33. Looks like the chains were in the wrong spot. They get it set. And it is Miller and Taylor in the backfield. We'll have 2 receivers on the short side of the formation. We'll have the tight end in the backfield on the left side with 1 wide out, and that's the wide side of the formation. They'll hand to Miller straight ahead, and he picks his way forward for a gain of 10 and then make it 12 to the 45 before he's tackled. And that's just good blocking there by the Pflugerville offensive line. Lions have got to figure out a way to fill those holes. They got to work on that run fit because the linebackers are getting carried out of that hole. 1st and 10 from the 45. Taylor looks over the defense, brings a man in motion. They're going to pitch to him. He's able to cut inside that outside block up over midfield into line territory to the 40. Is Quentin James. He's tackled by number 42, Chase Milne. But it is another Panther 1st down, this time in line territory at the 42-yard line. And this is about where they bogged down in that first series of this second half, the Panthers. So the Lions are going to have to figure out if they can get some pressure. We talked about it at halftime. We really feel like the difference is forcing Taylor to make decisions under pressure. We'll see what he does. Got Miller to his right, 2 receivers top of the formation. They'll hand to Miller. The tackle almost had him, but he's able to outrun that reach and pick up a nice gain. Nicholas Parsons making the tackle after a gain of about 4. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2. This is a big play for Leander here.
Yeah, that Pflugerville line is just terrorizing them. They just need to get some more numbers on the line and apply pressure.
Well, and ultimately, I played offensive line, and when you get in a groove as an offensive unit and an offensive line, you feel good out there, and it's That's what you want to do. You want to run the football if you're blocking well as an offensive line. If you look at the size of that offensive line, relative especially to our defensive line, our offensive line's got decent size, but when you look at it compared to the Lion defensive line, you can see significant size difference across the board. Second, is it second? I thought it was third down. They have not changed the box, and there's a long delay. I guess it's second and short.
About time for some blitzing right here, some bullets.
They bring a man in motion. Taylor looking down the left sideline. Good. Oh, they're going to call interference, and the defender didn't get his head around that pass intended for Kyron McFrazier. You know, the pass was a little bit short, which causes the receiver to have to come back to make a play on the ball. That's the worst penalty in football, in my opinion, because it puts the defense at a disadvantage. Because he's trying to keep up with that receiver, and that pass is short, and it brings the receiver back the other direction. He runs into the defender, but the defender is the one the penalty's assessed on. And that is the call. So 15-yard penalty assessed from the 34 is going to put the ball at the 19-yard line. First down and 10 for Pflugerville. And the last thing Leander can do is give up points here and expect to be able to battle back. Now, it wouldn't be out of reach, but, you know, the deeper that hole is dug, the harder it is to get out of it. Miller just to the right of Taylor. And the Lions showed a little bit of pressure, then dropped back out. We'll see if they come with it. It looks like that defender's dropped significantly from where he looked like he may blitz. Maybe they're trying to affect the decision here by Taylor, and they're in a traditional pistol now. Miller behind Taylor. There's a pass in the flat to Miller, and it looked like a hold or a block in the back. No call there, but nice gain for Pflugerville all the way down inside the 5, down to the 1. It'll be first and goal. And there was a block in the back past the line of scrimmage that probably should have been called against the Pflugerville Panthers, but no penalty flag, and you move on. It is now first and goal from the, looks like they moved the ball to the 3-yard line on the final spot. Miller to the left of Taylor. They'll bring James in motion. There's the penalty flag before the snap. Looks like we're going to have a false start against Pflugerville, and that'll move them back a little bit. And that being assessed against number 58, Xavier Jones.
Be nice to see a stop here.
And maybe those offensive linemen are getting a little tired, and that's why you see that penalty there, because you spend a lot of time on the field and you're a big fella. You get a little winded.
Yeah.
I mean, these days I can't even run upstairs without being winded. But
tie my shoes.
Well, that's because the belly's in the way.
I hear that. Right.
3:36 remaining. First and goal from the 8, and the jet sweep is going to get the ball down to about the 5-yard line. Looks like that was James on the carry. Nope, check that. It was Evans on the carry. We're going to credit Conley with the tackle for the Lions. It's now second and goal from the 5. The clock moving at 3:15 here in the third. And we haven't seen any points since the first half. And the Pflugerville, the first threat is now, and the Lions really need to force them to try a short field goal here if they can. Miller to the left of Taylor. They bring James in motion. There's the snap. Taylor follows Miller to the corner of the end zone for an easy walk-in touchdown. He went untouched, and now the score 39-14, and Leander kind of finds itself with a tall order here with about, we're looking at just shy of 15 minutes of game time left. So, you know, there's plenty of time to make some big plays, but it's going to be hectic for the Lions to be able to make a comeback. But they haven't seen many breaks go their way, and they're due some breaks. So it looks like the point after attempt is going to be tried by Xavier Barrientos.
Do us a favor and wave that wand again.
Lions almost able to get a hand on it.
Kick by Xavier.
And that is good. The hold there by Jason Evans. And so Leander will have their second opportunity with the football here in the second half after, or moments from now after the kickoff here. And we'll see if they can do something with the football. You know, the Lions, one of the things that is tough as a program, especially when you're dealing with trying to build back to a level of success that you've had previously, is getting down on yourself when you are down, because it's real easy to not play at your highest level when it seems like things are out of reach. And you hope that the Lions and Coach Price's team can keep that focus, and because ultimately this is game one. It's not even a district game. You know, even if you lose this game but you improve, then you have to give a little bit of credence to that, because if you just give up, you're not going to get better. So we'll see what the Lions can do here. They don't have Wooldridge on the kick return team, at least I don't think they do. Let me see. My vision's not. Yeah, he is out there. He's up around the 25-yard line on that closer level of returners. We'll see if momentum can swing in a nice kick return here for the Lions. There's the kick, and it will be Wooldridge at the 20, 25, 30. Bounces outside, breaks the tackle, goes back the other direction. He's in open field, 35, 40, 45, spinning his way towards midfield, and he'll be in Pflugerville territory. 1st and 10, Leander. And you got to be happy with a decent return there. I mean, that's a 31-yard return from Wooldridge. You're down big, but if you can get a quick touchdown here, you're in the same place you were just minutes ago. So the Lions will huddle on the sideline. Pflugerville's defense out in formation, waiting on that offense. The clock that measures the play clock has not begun yet. The referees are given plenty of time. The Lions will come out of the sideline to the formation. Mitchell remains the quarterback. Looks like Gordon the running back. 2 receivers either side of the formation. They'll hand to Gordon straight ahead, and he's dancing around. He runs right into that wall of a defensive tackle, number 5, Sonny Davis.
Been there all night. That big boy is not going nowhere.
Yeah, you almost want to try to bounce it outside a little bit. You can't give up on the run, obviously, but you got to figure something out. You can't put 3 guys blocking that one defensive tackle. He's having a whale of a ball game for the Panthers tonight. 2nd down and 10. Gordon was able to not lose any yardage. And it's an empty set here, and they'll bring Wooldridge in motion, fake it to, no, wait, that was Gordon, and they throw it to Wooldridge in the flat, and he gets spun out of bounds. He will lose yardage to the 46-yard line, and Pflugerville all over that play. Davion Haywood credited with the tackle. The loss on the play is going to be a good 2-3 yards at midfield. So it is now 3rd down and 12 for the Lions. 3 receivers breaking out of the huddle at the top of the formation.
We'll have to get creative with this one. They know what we're doing.
Gordon, the running back, they'll fake to him. Mitchell hits Wooldridge for a 1st down. He breaks through 35-30, 25 down to the 23 before he's tackled, and it is another Lion 1st down. And just like you said, the magic man, Zane Wooldridge, with another clutch catch to keep a drive alive for the Lions down to the 21-yard line. 1st and 10, Leander. We're 90 seconds away from the 4th quarter.
Guess you don't need too much creativity when you got a guy like him.
He does a lot of creating on his own. You're right with that. If he hasn't gotten interest, he certainly will be getting interest
tonight for sure
from colleges. And my understanding is he's had some interest. So
yeah.
We'll see. You know, if one thing going against him in terms of
big time college football might be size, but that athletic ability take you a long way.
That play is not working.
Yeah, Gordon straight ahead again, met uh, by Sonny Davis, who really just punished him there in the hole and caused a loss of 2 yards. I mean, he's playing too well at this point. I mean, obviously the Lions are having difficulty moving him out of this middle with 2 blockers. So you got to find another option. But if you look at his base, just look at it. I mean, and he's not a fat kid. He's just thick.
Yeah.
2nd down and 12.
It's going to take a lot to move that boy.
Yeah. Low center of gravity, and looks like he's probably strong as an ox. There's the snap. Mitchell drops back, looking in the corner. The receiver has to become a defender there for the Lions and knock the ball away. It falls incomplete. It's now 3rd down. This is likely field goal range for Rodriguez, but at this point in the game, you don't want to be settling for threes, right? You want to be able to get those touchdowns and try to dig into this lead a little bit.
Especially the way Pflugerville's milking that clock.
Yeah, they're going to continue to do that. They burned that almost that entire 3rd quarter with 2 drives, which is effective coaching. Give credit to Charles Taylor and his staff as they built a lead in the first half, and they were able to burn most of the 3rd quarter away. Mitchell takes the snap, rolls to his left, looking down towards the end zone, flies it up, and it's caught by Wooldridge inside the 5 with 3 defenders around him. Wooldridge climbs the ladder and gets the football. 1st and goal, Leander at the 2.
That boy is a player for sure right there. Players make plays, and he's been making plays all night long.
He just needs to find a little bit of help from a couple of other guys, and this team can have a lot of success. Mitchell has been putting the ball where it needs to be, especially when it comes to those passes to Wooldridge. And in fact, we've seen a couple of other receivers drop balls that should have been caught, and even Wooldridge dropped one that hit him right in the basket. So Mitchell's doing an effective job delivering the ball, and the Lions just got to put it in the end zone and then stop what's really been a very good Pflugerville offense tonight. That's the end of the 3rd quarter, so we'll move to the 4th quarter. While we switch sides of the field, I'll shout out the sponsors one more time: the MLD Services LLC, Milo Aquatics, Modern Shade, BlackRock Coffee, Grissom Insurance Group, A-Plus Septic Cleaning and Repairs, JT Reisdorf at State Farm, Sisk Rob, Whitestone Fine Jewelry, Texas State Optical, Cedar Park, Toyota of Cedar Park, Golden Chick, Raising Canes, RDZ Roofing, woohoo, Bill Miller's Barbecue, Mercy Veterinary Hospital, Bear Electric LLC, Oak Haven Massage, Dig D Well, Community Blessing Outreach at LHS, and Lucky Rabbit. We'll get the second half here after the Lions punch it in here on 2nd down and goal from the 2-yard line. The box says, it is 1st down. 1st down. Under center, Mitchell hands off to number 4 straight ahead. Parsons gets it down to the 1. Remaining sponsors, Lucky Rabbit, Guaco Taco, Brooklyn Heights, Walks It To You, Baldy's Jeep Shop, Pigpen Cycles, Wyndham Roofing, Cedar Park Law, Learn Lee 123, Thrifty Goat Graphics, and Quality Moving and Storage. We want to thank our sponsors. Under center again is Mitchell. Takes the snap, hands it to number 4 for his first touchdown of the night and season. That's Nicholas Parsons cutting into the lead, and it is now a 40-20 score as 3 different flags come flying in to the post-touchdown skirmish. I mean, I guess the Lions wanted to celebrate a little bit, and Pflugerville didn't take too kindly to that. When you're up, you just let the other team celebrate. I don't know.
Number 5 didn't like that too much.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
The big
boy.
big defensive tackle.
Juggernaut.
So Sonny Davis is his name, and we'll see if he gets assessed the penalty, because that could be helpful in
the next series for the line defense to kind of push Pflugerville back a little bit. The only problem with that is if you don't stop them, they're able to burn more time by having to progress over more field. Looks like it's going to be offsetting. So those penalties assessed against Keyshawn Ware of Pflugerville and Jacob Wells of Leander. Getting a little heated in there in the trenches, and that's to be expected. And the referees will control that with the penalty flag as they did there. Point after attempt, Rene Rodriguez on the field for the Lions. There's the snap, hold, and the kick is right down the middle. It is now again a 19-point lead, but we opened this half, it was a 19-point difference. So, ultimately nothing has really changed. The Lions have progressed no further at attaining a win here, but there's still 11 and a half minutes. What do you do here in the fourth quarter
Time
offense?
for an onside kick right now.
Onside
Just to get
kick.
the
So
ball
that's
back. I mean,
the
they're gonna
first
go down,
option.
might as well get them short yardage right there.
So
I mean,
Coach McLean, the head wrestling coach, is also the special teams coordinator,
okay.
and we've seen some pretty good trick plays coming out of special teams in the past couple of years. The problem is people seen it on film, and they know that the Lions are willing to take a risk. So we'll see if Pflugerville studied enough film,
Let's see if you can
and
wrestle that ball our way.
we'll see. The only issue with that, although it's the way Pflugerville's offense has moved the ball, this may not be an issue, but you shorten the field if you're unable to get that onside. That's the only difference. But you got to have the football to score, right? So one way to get it is to kick it onside, but it looks like they have the hands team outdo the Panthers as I suspected. They've watched enough film to know that the Lions may pooch it. In fact, that second line is pretty close. We've seen the Lions kick into the open area and able to get on sides that were 15, 18, 20 yards down the field last year. But looks like Pflugerville's trying to cover for that possibility as well as Rodriguez sets up, and we'll see what decision was made there on the sidelines. There was a little bit of a discussion. We'll see. Rodriguez total leather, and it is going to be a deep kick. It's beyond the returners, and it'll easily roll into the end zone. And the good thing about that, no time runs off the clock. And so Pflugerville will take the football at their own 25, which ultimately I think that may be their worst field position to start a drive all evening. So the defense really needs to get off the field as quickly as they can, and I'm sure they want to. They got to figure out a way to get some pressure on Cole Taylor.
Cole Taylor in number 24. He's just running right down the middle. He's just gashing them.
Yeah, well, I could probably run behind that offensive line, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't last more than one drive, but I might look good during that first drive. 40-21, the score now. 11-29. Miller to the right of Taylor. Two receivers, top of the formation. They'll bring one in motion. Taylor will hand to Miller on a counter, and he's in the secondary. He's at midfield. He breaks into the open. 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. And that is the last thing the Lions could have afforded to happen, is to allow a counter play to Miller. And he basically went untouched 65 yards. There's not much you can say beyond well executed by Pflugerville. The score 46-21 now with 11-16. So they only burned 13 seconds off the clock on that possession. That's a tough break for the Lion defense. That's one way to get off the field, just not the way you want to get off the field.
Man, I don't think he got touched the whole time.
I didn't see anyone touching him. So Barrientos in for the kick, is able to get it between and over the between the uprights over the crossbar. The score now 47-21.
So the Lions, if they scored 3 quick touchdowns, they're still down 5. So they ultimately they're going to have to get some breaks here in the last 11 minutes if they want to pull out a victory here. But what I would like to see from Leander going down the stretch is just the requisite effort to rally. It's a tall order. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's a tall order to come back from this much of a deficit with 11-16. But if you can show the effort that if we had an extra quarter, maybe we win this game, then I'll be satisfied.
Yeah, you want to see some fight. You want to see them just take it as it is, and that's it. Roll with it to the end. Let's see some fight in them.
So Frank, you played back in the Gideon days, so there weren't a lot of blowout losses from Leander, but there were 1 or 2 here or there, and
When?
probably when you weren't playing,
Right.
but even when there was a loss, it wasn't well received by the coaching staff. So there was a significant amount of work done that next day. Correct?
Oh, for sure. We were embarrassed as a city. Growing up, it was just, you don't lose to Pflugerville. That's just how it was.
Yeah.
So we made sure not to lose to Pflugerville.
Well, it looks like that
There you go.
kick fielded at the 25.
There
Then
you
they
go.
open at
There
the
you go.
40. It looked a little bit of a
Yeah, that's what we need right there, though.
little bit of a horse collar. That's Beckett Phillips, the junior wide receiver, number 85, with a nice return. Fielded it at the 20, carries it up to the 47 to give Leander, a little bit of life. 11:08. Let's get a touchdown here, and then we move on from there. But you basically got to deal with what's in front of you, right? So, at the very least, we need to get first downs. And then after first downs, they end up in touchdowns. And like I said, you want to see the effort. There have been games in the past few years that the Lions were not close in, that they did not quit. So we'll see what they can do here. Logan Mitchell, the quarterback, number 21, just to his side, Kamarian Gordon. They're going to throw it in the flat to Wooldridge. He drops it. The defender, number 21, Devin Banks, there. And it looks like the Panthers are keying on Zane Wooldridge, and that's what I would do if I was a defensive coach for Pflugerville.
It's about time to use him as a decoy.
Yeah. 11:02, and there's other talented players on this offense, so you got to figure out what that is, and part of it is a little bit of trust with Logan Mitchell and those other receivers. You got to find that level of trust with those guys. Gordon just to the right of Mitchell. Mitchell takes that's Montgomery at the quarterback spot. He completes the pass near midfield. I've been saying that was Mitchell, but it looked like it was Mason Montgomery in number 6. That pass was complete. The receiver, it looks like he might have got hurt. It was number 16, Dominic Jaramillo, the receiver. It's going to be 3rd and 6. The Lions need to get to the Pflugerville 44. And at this point in the game, this is 2-down territory. You don't punt it away here.
No, that's not an option.
So Kamarian Gordon, the running back, with Mason Montgomery at quarterback. We've got 2 receivers here on the near, or 3 receivers on the near side, 1 at the top of the formation. Montgomery rolls to his left, decides to tuck and run, carries over midfield. Going to get forced out of bounds around the 47. So the line's about 3 yards shy of the line needed for a new set of downs. So 4th down, they're going to say he needs 4. Looks like they put him at the 48. I thought they originally marked him at the 47. Looks like they backed it up. So the Lions, again, this is a situation you got to go for it here on 4th down. So Montgomery with Gordon just to his right. 3 receivers on the wide side of the formation. There's the snap. Montgomery rolls that direction, throws it in the flat. It's complete for the first down. Looks like real close. He runs into the down marker, and it's number 19, Case Schneider, with that reception. Are they going to give him the first down or not? It looks like they've marked him shy. Unbelievable.
That was a bad spot.
I think that is a bad spot, and that's one that Coach Price is debating right now. He's he's indicating to the side judge that my receiver hit the yard marker, which was exactly where the line needed to gain was. And so there's a bit of a discussion going on. You know, the Lions lost an opportunity on a attempted onside to have a short field for Pflugerville, and they lose this argument as well, as the white hat indicates possession to Pflugerville. And, you know, unless there's a big play quickly, Pflugerville can pretty much put this game away with a semi. You don't need to score, obviously, but just maintain possession of the football. You'll see them run the football quite a bit in this possession, I would assume. They huddle on their sideline. The Lion defense comes out. Uh, Again, I'm not so sure about that spot, but the referee has better angle than I do. Coach Price has as good an angle as the referee, though, and he was arguing.
It's Friday night in Texas. We're in Pflugerville. What do you expect?
Yeah, that's true. You're right. You're right. You get a little home cooking, and
Not
especially pre-district.
Yeah.
That you know, because you can argue till you're blue in the face, and the referee's going to tell you, Coach, it's not even a district game, and
A rivalry like this, they don't.
Yeah.
Hey,
They don't
gloves
care.
are off. Yeah.
well, the refs don't care either.
No.
So, but yeah, and you can get in their ear a little too much, and then the calls will not go your way for sure. So. And the thing is Coach Price is a very likable coach, but in the heat of the moment, sometimes even likable guys say things that aren't well received.
Maybe a little tips, treats before the game or something. Set the locker room, you know.
Something. Keep it fair. Keep it fair.
Right.
We'll see what the defense can do in terms of getting a quick stop here with 9:37. But looks like for the first time in this be 2 consecutive years, the first time Pflugerville is going to come out with a win over the Lions to open the season. And I'll give credit to Pflugerville. They played well tonight, and this is a much more impressive squad than they had last year. So they may do something in their district. We'll see if they're able to keep their players in terms of grades and things like that, injuries. So Taylor with Miller in the backfield. They're not even going to get any substitutes. They end up thinking about Taylor didn't know what to do. He's like, I was supposed to hand to you, Miller. What are you doing? And then so he just kind of got behind Miller and got on the ground so he didn't get hurt. I know Taylor's got better feet than that, but he didn't want to risk getting hurt. 2nd down and 12 now for Pflugerville on that play. But and again, I don't think they're looking to throw the football at this point in the game with this lead. They're looking to burn clock. So I would expect Miller to get the handoff here, or Taylor to keep it, or perhaps they bring James or McFrazier or Evans in motion on a jet sweep. We'll see. And there it is, the jet sweep to James, and he's able to get the edge. He's finally stacked up by number 13, Jake Bridwell, as he crosses midfield into about the 48. It's going to make it 3rd and 3.
I know I've said it before, but we just got to blitz that right there. I mean,
Yeah.
they know what they're doing. Their cards are, flipped over.
Well, and you know that they're not going to really throw the football at this point. You got to try to
Go get that ball. Go get
come
that
with a
ball.
run fit of some kind of blitz there. It looks like they gave him a decent spot all the way down to the 47, so it's actually 3rd and 2, not 3rd and 3. Miller still the running back, and they bring James in motion, but they hand to Miller, and he looks and picks up the 1st down over the 45 to the 43. Getting up off the bottom of the pile for the Lions is number 37, but we don't have a 37 on our roster, so I'm not really sure who that is. Sometimes when they switch jerseys, the roster doesn't quite match because that particular number is missing, and a player has to take a different one. So whomever that is on the play. So it is 1st and 10 now
At the line 43 for the Panthers, Miller remains the running back. And expect a heavy dose of Miller straight ahead. And number 5 there on the tackle, Calvin Kessler, after a gain of about 4 to the 39. Clock continues to burn at 7:20 remaining in the ball game.
Lying down.
There's a big pile of guys. He's able to find his way back up, and that's big number 39.
99.
99. Timon Lawson. So it's now going to be 2nd down and 5 from the Lion 38-yard line. And Pflugerville both clocks are stopped as they get the injured player off the field. Lawson, he got up under his own power, but he was limping a little bit. You know, a cramp that'll do that. It's hard to walk when your calf is cramped. But he didn't want to lay there on the ground. And linemen don't like to lay on the ground too much. They don't want people to think that they're weak. So he hopped right up. Clock now moving down to under 7 minutes. The play clock down to 15 seconds. 2 running backs in the backfield on either side of Taylor. Expect more of that. And it's going to be a handoff. This time it's James there in the backfield making the play. Number 25, Liam Walters, with a little bit of assistance from a couple of other guys. Number 15, Isaiah Conley in there.
Yep.
So that pushes the line of scrimmage to the 42, where it's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Perkins did a good job getting back there.
Well, it did move the ball back. So apparently there was a face mask as well, and that'll give the Panthers a 1st down. I guess the referees are ready to head on home. So all the calls going Pflugerville's way at this point. Maybe it's Miller time, I guess. So they march off. 15-yard assessment will put the line of scrimmage at the Lion 22-yard line, 1st and 10 Pflugerville. And you really don't want to give them a 50-cent piece here. So you defensively got to get a stop just for that, out of pride. It looks like the Panthers shift their formation as they flip their receivers on either side. Miller remains the running back. Or that might be James. I can't really see his number. No, it's Miller. Straight ahead. And he's no gain there. Is big number 74 was waiting on him in the hole, and that's Mac Schwepper. He's getting a little defensive play. He's an offensive lineman getting a little nose guard play. Sometimes that happens early in the season, and you find out you're supposed to be a defensive lineman instead of an offensive lineman. Because, no matter how hard you work in practice, sometimes the shine really comes out in game situations. So you got to figure that out. And that's really what pre-district is about. You want to be good, but you can afford losses in non-district. Hand off to number 14. He's able to pick up a couple of yards before he's hit pretty hard, and that's
Mormon right there.
Falconer on the carry. Who was the
Mormon? Tyler Mormon, number 8.
Number 8. So that'll make it 3rd and looks like 6 yards needed for a 1st down. The Panthers need to get to the Lion 12 for a new set of downs. There is 5 minutes, 5 seconds and counting here in tonight's contest.
You got the big boy out there, number 85.
Yeah, they need to make sure because Pflugerville will throw a pass down here.
Yeah. Good little mismatch right there.
Falconer, the running back, and they throw it in the flat, and it's complete to James, and there's a big tackle, and a flag comes in late in the middle of the field where typically it would be a hold, but could be a hands to the face on the defensive line. We'll see here what the call is, but no gain on the play. It would have been 4th down. It's a decision if it's against Pflugerville. I didn't see that. The quarterback looked like he was standing by himself back there. Interesting call. I'll have to go back and see that on film because, like I said, I looked up and it looked like Taylor was 7, 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage by himself. So
Another quick reminder.
I guess 15-yard penalty assessed against the lines. Probably half the distance to the goal is going to put the ball at the 13. And there is a timeout called. I didn't see if he assessed that to either team. 4:43 remaining. It might be an official's timeout as the head side judge walks over to Coach Price in order to explain what the penalty call is, and the white hat ooches his way over there. He's not moving too fast. That's why he's not working the sideline. Those guys on the edges are fast. You got to keep up with them. The middle of the field, you don't have as much area to cover. But there's a long discussion going on between Coach Price and a couple of the crew here. We'll see. Ultimately, we haven't seen them turn any calls over except for one, and of course, they went against the lines on that.
Another one.
What's that?
I thought you just threw another flag out right there in front of Price.
Oh, that's probably the original flag,
Okay.
but especially since there was no reaction from
All
from
right.
Coach Price. If he had thrown a flag, there would have been a reaction, I would imagine. So that was where the flag was thrown. I didn't see it. It was way over on the line sideline. I don't know how that's roughing, unless somebody just ran into him way after the pass. And they still haven't moved the chains. It looks like the ball is getting moved back up to the 23, and we're going to hear what.
Illegal shift on the offense and roughing the passer on the defense. Both live ball fouls, they offset.
There you go.
Well,
Hey.
at least it didn't hurt the Lions there. It's still 3rd down and 6, and we'll replay that down. But ultimately, Coach Price did have an argument,
Good job, Coach.
and that's one where you got to know the rule book as a coach, so you can tell the guys that are supposed to be the experts at the rule book, hey, you missed this rule, and that the white hat came out and boldly stated, yes, we were wrong. And that's the second call we've seen turned over this time in the Lions' favor. But, in terms of value, less so than what was afforded Pflugerville in the first half. Man in motion. They're going to hand off to the running back coming across. That's Kessler on the stop. The running back was number 22, One Grant. Never known anyone with the name One, O-N-E. One Grant. It's got to be Oni Grant, and it's just difficult to pronounce.
Favorite game is Uno.
Yeah. Well, it would be nice if we could put the reverse card on them right now, but it's not working.
It was one or Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
So we've got it looks like it's going to remain Oni Grant at the running back. It's 4th and 8.
I'll tell you what, though, that Kessler's been all over the place. He's a ball hawk for sure.
He's had a really good game today defensively. He just needs a little bit of help. Taylor has to step up in the pocket and run forward, and it'll be line football.
We'll take it.
The clock will stop. It hasn't stopped yet, but it should have stopped since it's a change in possession. The clock keeps moving. It was 3:28, and it finally stops at 3:21. And, you can't blame that on home cooking necessarily, because the clocks on varsity games are operated by the official crew. So, it could be a Pflugerville favored, but more than likely it was just a mistake or an oversight. Not realizing that it was 4th down. Yeah, or the beer's starting to warm. You know what? I mean, I did PA at Leander, and some of the referees, they're ready to go towards the end of the game, even if it's a close, tight game and super exciting. And don't get into the profession if you don't want to do the job. But
I'm not saying that's the case of this crew. I certainly want to express that,
Yeah.
but I've seen evidence of crews not necessarily being focused late in ball games, and so the lines will come out. Mitchell, the quarterback. Nope, it's Montgomery, and we have a free play, and he's able to complete the pass on the sideline. Was it caught? It was caught, but was it inbounds?
Now, if he had more real estate, that was a good ball though.
Yeah, it looked like he was out of bounds, so it'll be second down. That will stop the clock at 3:15. And you just want to get points here. You want to put something on film that you can coach out of. And like I said, it was a free play, so no problem taking a risk down that sideline. But ultimately, in this scenario, you want to get some footage of the guys that are out there that you can coach them up with. And we'll see what the Lions do here. 1st and 5, ball at the 26. Montgomery takes the snap up the right sideline. The pass too far ahead of the receiver who thought about cutting in. That was number 85, Beckett Phillips, the intended receiver. So 2nd down and 5. That's the good thing about a offensive penalty on 1st down. You can take a risk there, and you're still 2nd and short, or fairly short. Lions need the 31-yard line to get a 1st down.
It'd be good to see a screenplay here.
Yeah, some kind of big play that develops. Let's see. They're going to hand off. Nope, it's a fake, and
Okay.
and Montgomery keeps it. He's got a little bit of
He
room,
got some
carries
wheels
up
on him.
past the 40, and is spun out of bounds for a 1st down around the 41, 42-yard. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 41 or 40. So the Lions will have a 1st down with 3:02 remaining here in the ball game. And again, game pretty much out of reach at this point, and you want to see as much positive as you can from your team. There's work ahead of you. Season is a long season. And this Pflugerville team is better than advertised. I'll tell you that much. Handoff to Gordon. He gets a little bit of room around the 45, crosses midfield into Pflugerville territory to the 46. Another 1st down for the Lions with 2:51 remaining.
Marvelous. Joe.
That's an interesting name on the tackle. They said number 23, Marvelous Ianacho. 1st and 10.
Better than Fabuloso.
Gordon in the backfield with Montgomery. He rolls. He's able to flip it out complete to number 19, Case Schneider, and he cuts up the hash to about the 35 for another line 1st down. That'll stop the clock with 2:26 to reset the chains. And you like what you're seeing from your offense here. These are not your primary starters, and so you're seeing some depth with some ability here that you might be able to leverage down the season. Montgomery up the middle on the fake. He's going to take it to the house, and the Lions will have another touchdown. It'll be 47-27, point after attempt pending. 2:07 remaining in the game, and it's still too big of a lead to really come back. But man, that would be a crazy comeback. 2 minutes. I mean, we saw Roger. You didn't. You were too young. But when I was young, we saw Roger Staubach do it on a regular basis. 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes. That was nothing.
Right.
But we don't have Roger the Dodger. So Rodriguez for the point after. There's the hold, and the kick is up. And the Lions add another point. It's 47-28 with 2:07. If I were a betting man, I'd bet there'd be an onside on this one. What do you think?
Yeah.
There might not be, though. I mean,
Right.
at this point, you might want to see what your defense can do down the stretch here with 2:07. Again, that footage is valuable because no matter how hard you try to simulate game situations in practice, it just doesn't work. You can get, even ones on ones. Everybody's, saying they're going 100%, but are they really? And you really see it on the field in a game. And these 2 minutes are valuable for that reason. So we'll see if Leander is able to attempt an onside here and get it and get back on the field offensively, because you certainly would like to cut into the lead if you can and make it a little more respectable. You never want to give up over 40 points to anyone defensively, but this team with Cole Taylor at the quarterback and a slew of receivers and a darn good running back in Ryder Miller might make some noise this season.
Hey, but 28 points on any team is pretty good too, though.
That
You know what I mean?
is. And you know, it's something to build upon, and we'll see here. Maybe they can get the ball back and do it again. And Montgomery has certainly gained a little bit of confidence over this last half, considering that he threw that pick six in the first half.
Here you
Short
go.
kick, so it is an onside, but able to be fielded and down by number 11, Keyshawn Ware. And so it will be, or make that 14. That was Trayvon Falconer. And so that will give the coaches an opportunity to look at some defensive players here down the stretch. The Lions do have 2 timeouts, so Pflugerville just can't come out and start kneeling the ball and expect the clock to expire, because I would assume the Lions will use those timeouts. Could be wrong, but that's what I would do. And it's a long huddle on the sideline by the Pflugerville Panthers, is they want to make sure that they burn as much time as possible and not turn the ball over.
Big Orlando at nose guard.
What number is that?
66.
66. Or Orlando Garza
Big
getting a
boy right
look.
there.
He got some penetration, but
Yeah.
Miller was able to get. No, that's not Miller. It's number 22 who breaks into the open. He's able to carry it deep into the Lion territory. That's One Grant up to the Lion 34-yard line, 33-yard line. It'll be first down for the Panthers. Chains set, 156 on the clock, and the referee has yet to wind that game clock. Interesting, because usually they're already winding it before the chains are even set. Maybe he went out of bounds. And it does look like Pflugerville did substitute Taylor as they bring in number 15, Ryder Deal. And that's a carry straight ahead by the running back, number 22, Oni Grant. It's going to be second down and 8 after that game. Ball at the 30-yard line, clock moving. We got about 90 seconds left on the game clock. It's going to be a tough one. The Lions unable to capitalize and avoid some mistakes, some self-inflicted wounds, and Pflugerville going to come out on top here.
We saw some good ball today from Leander, though. There's some good
There are
things.
things to build on, and that's something that these guys need to keep in mind, and obviously the coaches need to communicate to them. And
But I tell you one thing, though, I'm a believer of Mr. Magic Man.
yeah, he's certainly he's impressive no matter who you're playing against, and the other teams know when you come up against Leander currently that you're looking for that number one. Now that number one jersey has been a traditional jersey for Leander
Slim
for a number of years,
right?
and well, you don't get to wear number one unless you're pretty impressive.
Right.
We've seen that from Zane Woldridge tonight.
It kind of reminds me of a Travis Hunter.
Oh yeah, it's exactly because he's playing both sides of the ball too effectively, and then it looks like Taylor. Nope, that's going to be Falconer, and he's going to end up with a touchdown late, kind of a garbage touchdown for number 14 Travion Falconer, and that's going to give Pflugerville that C note. And I tell you what, that is going to be the thing that sticks in the craw of every defensive coach on the line staff. And tomorrow's not going to be pleasant anyway, but that last touchdown is going to make it a little bit worse.
Be a lot of pursuit drill.
Well, and there's probably a need for it. I'll say it again and again. Early in the season, there's a lot to work out, and that's why you don't start out playing district games. Point after attempt is up and good by Barrientos, and it's now 54-28. Pflugerville going to come out on top tonight against the Lions, and there's 17 seconds left, so the Lions will send out the kick return unit, and they'll get maybe one offensive play, and then that'll be the ball game. We'll forego the post game show, and we'll try to get one going for the next broadcast. Join us for that broadcast. It's next week right here at the field as the Lions take on, I believe, Hendrickson next week, the Hendrickson Hawks, which will be a tough matchup anyway. But, they're not much different than Pflugerville in terms of talent, in terms of size, and in terms of scheme. So, we'll see how much of an improvement there has been between week 1 and week 2, which, they love to say that in the NFL. The most improvement happens between week 1 and week 2. So we'll see if that actually holds true for the Lions here. Keep in mind that is a Thursday night game, so make sure you tune in here on SHN Sports. Follow the Lion Nation podcast X account at Lion Nation Cast. It'll have all of the links. Lions field the kick around the 25, and they'll carry up to about the 30. That's number 8, Tyler Mormon, and there's 12 seconds remaining after that tackle. So we'll see if Coach wants to run a play or if he's ready to take a knee and get out of this with no further injury. They are huddling on the sideline, so I'm going to assume that the Lions will run a play. I'm like, hey, 12 seconds, you can run 1 or 2 plays, but that is, again, valuable film study. So we'll see if they can get something here in this 12 seconds. And they'll break the huddle from the sideline and come out. Looks like we've got maybe the third quarterback in. Let's see who that is. I can't see his number.
18. Shit. Chris Tracy.
Yeah, that is the third string. He'll hand off straight ahead, and that's going to be the ball game. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. The Lions fall in their opener for the first time in 3 years to the Pflugerville Panthers by a score of 54-28.
Hey, as a diehard Leander Lion, I can tell you the last 5 meetings we're 3-2 against them.
Right, we're still ahead
We're 3
overall.
against it.
Well, we need to focus on next week. The Henderson Hawks on the schedule. We'll ask that you join us next Thursday for Frank Rodriguez, Juan Alanis, and Peter Casimir. This has been Chuck Cracy. Thank you for listening to Lion Football. We'll see you next week, and go Lions.
Go Lions, baby.